Yo, what up, what up, what up? We got no viewers right now. What's poppin'?
No viewers?
This is
Sweet.
yeah, you're not on the I can't hear, you're not on the screen right now, Ray, but let me do a little tradition that I always like to do. We are live. Yes, we're live. We got one fucking viewer. What's cracking, everybody? We out here in South Bend, Indiana. I haven't seen a black person since I've been here. It's been great so far. We're out here doing shows. Ray Hensley's opening up for me for the first time. The first time he headlined, I opened up for him, which I thought was really cool, and I thought I'd extend and bring him out on this one. It was fucking great. We had a real good time last night. We're about to get this podcast started, but before I start, guys, subscribe to me. If you're watching me on YouTube right here, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be posting even more videos. I got even more funny people coming on. I'm hoping to get some really, really good, interesting people on this podcast. I'm hoping to get all kinds of people, anywhere from like religious people to porn stars. The last episode, I had my awesome friend Pink Fox, the hilarious transgender comedian, and you should watch that last one and watch how I confronted her about throwing an orgy in my apartment while I was in some fucking country. She got it. She got an Airbnb and then fucked up my mattress. So, yeah. So I'm really hoping this podcast is going to be what's up. And then right down there, you'll see Mike from Detroit. I'm on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pornhub, TikTok too. But I've only posted one video on TikTok. I'm going to try to get better than that. But I want you guys to give a warm welcome to my fucking hilarious friend, Ray Hensley. What's up, Ray?
What is up? What is up?
What's crack-a-lackin'?
I've been doing this all weekend. I've never done this before ever in my life, but this is what we're doing this weekend.
This is what we're doing, yeah. I want to see if who do we got watching right now? It's probably my boy Bolty, man. He's the number one dude to watch. I hope everybody can hear me though. Can you guys hear me? Does this sound good enough?
Hello? Yes. I can hear you.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Give me a check, Ray.
Check.
Chickity check 1 2. Bam. Okay. So what's poppin', bro? Why you racist?
Not much. Not racist.
You're fucking from Indiana.
I don't get why you did the vape thing right at me. Why did you make intense eye contact with me while you were doing the vape thing? I didn't like that at all. I feel uncomfortable.
Was I looking at you while I was doing it?
Hard. You're so hard, your eyes almost went cross-eyed a little bit. All right, yeah, I don't like that at all, bro. It's just, it's too intense. You can't get it to come out or what?
I think I broke it.
Oh, really? Sucking too hard?
You're just racist, bro,
Is that all you're going to say today? I'm racist? That's fair. I get it. I am not, but why do you think all white people are racist? You said you haven't seen anybody else besides white people here.
You're the first white guest.
Yeah.
You're the first white guest.
I'm breaking down barriers for us white people.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight white males. Here we go.
Republican-ish.
You think I'm Republican?
Ish.
Ish? Yeah, I guess. I'm middle for sure.
Ishy. I think you're a Republican-ishy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would you say you're Republican-ishy?
I think it depends on the topic, right? You ask me how I feel about abortion. I'm cool with it. I don't give a shit.
Oh, no?
I don't. I think it's
you're
killing.
Okay?
I think you're killing babies, but I think.
You think or you know?
It is killing babies, but I don't care if you do it. I don't.
Are you
whatever.
a baby if you're in a womb?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Remember Bill Hicks had that bit, and he was just like, "You're not a human until you're in my phone book."
You're still not in my phone book.
I'm not in.
You texted me, and I'm like, "Who this?"
Books.
And I was like, "I was from Detroit. It's probably Mike."
But
so
I'm probably the only person in Detroit you know, probably.
That is. I think that is true. I think that is true. I don't know a lot of people from up in Detroit.
But I would say you're Republican-y. Listen, I don't consider myself a fucking Democrat, but I'm Democrat-y.
I don't know if I'm Republican. I've never voted. So
Would you say you lean conservative?
I'd probably lean. I don't know what the difference between Republican and conservative is.
You don't?
I don't. What's the difference? Tell me. Because I'm so stupid. I don't know what the difference between a liberal, Democrat, Republican, or conservative.
Come on. You don't know. Come on.
I don't. Honest to God, I don't pay attention to that politics stuff. But I probably will lean more Republican than I do liberal or conservative or Democrat.
Oh, you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't. But I'm cool with
guns.
I'm cool with guns. I don't really care about the guns. You know what I mean?
I like guns.
I think there needs to be like more mental checks on people and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't care.
You're covering your face with the camera.
Oh, my
when you
bad.
do that,
Yeah. Well, and I don't care about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I do. I saw something like a handful of years ago that said one of the main reasons the United States hasn't been invaded by another country is because of our guns.
Number one reason?
It's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why we haven't been invaded is because of our guns. Because there's a lot of fucking guns in this country. Well, there's more guns than people, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's a lot of guns.
There's way more guns than people, which is why, like, I think I use that as the argument when my liberal friends talk about we need to get rid of the guns because, like, you know, like one thing will happen in the news where someone will shoot up a place, and then that's when my liberal friends would they flex on, oh, we got to get rid of guns. They're dangerous. And that's when I kind of like try to put it in perspective. I'm like, why are you going to punish all these extremely responsible gun owners? Right. Oh, responsible. Well, look at all these school shootings. I'm like, okay, so you see one school shooting. You know guns outnumber people in this country.
Right.
I don't even know by how much. I'm going to guess 10-1.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
I know dudes that have 10 guns.
I know dudes that have 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know guys that can't stop buying guns. They love guns. So guns outnumber people in this country. If guns were really that much of a problem, dude.
Right.
Imagine how many fucking people would really be getting shot, considering.
Yeah. I mean, but you look at like the people who are doing the mass shootings that you see on the news, right? They're people,
white people.
Yeah, those are the ones you see on the news. But they're, you know, so you don't see the other mass shooters who are not white people on the news.
We get mass shot. Like in Yemeni, we get mass shot. Like a big bomb just comes and takes out an entire fucking wedding. You know, that's a mass shot.
That's 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing.
80 birds, 1 stone.
That's how the white people do it. 80 birds, 1 stone.
100 brown birds.
Jesus.
1 stone.
That's fucked up.
1 stone that has an American flag painted on it.
You look at like mass shootings like that. That's fucked up. It's like 2 birds, 1 stone. Come on, bro. You gotta use a bigger gun. Jesus.
Use a bigger gun, and then the trick is to shoot it from very high up. You know?
Try to get people in lines where you go through the heads. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Trick shot it. You got to trick shot it, bud. Come
blast radius. Use the blast radius to your advantage.
Hand grenades. Just fucking throw a hand grenade. There you go.
Isn't it great that we could talk about killing my people and laughing?
Well, that's what suicide bombers are, right?
Yeah, we're laughing the whole time we're blowing up. What?
Suicide bombers are just 2 birds, 1 stone, right? They just go into the middle of something, pull a trigger, and now they're going.
Suicide bombers are sad as fuck, bro. Like, we literally, in this country, have
they're
been
your
inundated.
people's mass shooters, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, when it comes to suicide bombers, man, I can't help but, like, I have to get it across to people and be like, a suicide bomber is a desperate motherfucker.
He's just
that's a guy
far whatever. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
think about it. So the suicide bomber was created by Hezbollah in the 80s. Now, the Lebanese in southern Lebanon were farmers. They didn't have any military experience whatsoever. Israel decided they were going to invade southern Lebanon in 1981 because they needed water. And they used some, as they usually do, some other fake political motive about why they're doing this. They came in there, they invaded southern Lebanon, seized it, controlled it, kicked all the people that were farming and living there out of there so that they could have access to water. And then the farmers, being people who don't have weapons, they don't have tanks, they don't have planes that Israel does. Mm-hmm. They have to think outside the box. And what better weapon than you, right? So to me, like, it's easy in this country for us to look at suicide bombers as being that, but suicide bombers are desperation, you know? Look at Palestinians. They're up against Goliath. They're David. You know? They don't.
No, for sure.
Palestinians don't have tanks. They don't have planes. They don't have satellites. They have nothing.
They can get one person into a group of important people and do
but
damage,
the sad
right?
thing about suicide bombers, they have terrible success rate. Their success rate is terrible. These motherfuckers go into a fruit market to blow themselves up, and the biggest casualty is fucking fruit.
Just some guy just throwing away apples and shit. And he's like, motherfucker, damn it.
You could have just killed my mom. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I would have been less financially hurt if you would have killed a kid or something.
Kill my
Jesus.
family, bro, so I can sell these apples and go to Bali.
Now I can't pay for the funeral either way. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. No, that's fucked up. No, yeah.
You know. But that's
the two birds, one stone thing.
That's what that was the 100 brown birds, one stone.
That's messed up.
But back, we were talking about guns and school shootings, and you know, the idea of how people look at guns. You know, how it outnumbers people, and how it outnumbering people, if you take that into consideration, the amount of fucking killings for guns is kind of low considering.
No, for sure.
You know?
But it's like that with a lot of stuff, right? Like, you see just a lot of bad things in this world, and you're just like, well, there's a higher percentage of good things, right? That's how that is, right? Whether you got cops or whether you got, you know what I mean, immigration, where you have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of good things out there.
More good than bad.
Way more good. Way more good than bad.
You got Trump. That really pissed me off when he started, like, talking about the Mexicans coming across the border.
Oh, and he used the blanket like the rapists and criminals. Yeah, that's
criminals.
That kind of shit is wrong. Like, you should never do that.
It's so fucked up.
It's like all black people are criminals, all white people are racist, all Muslims are this, all
we all joke.
Like,
we joke around about that shit.
No,
that's not what we mean. You know.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. The thing is that you made a very fucking good point. Majority of things are good. Let's take into consideration many of the Mexicans that migrate here. Let's take into consideration.
I do construction. There's not a single white construction worker that hates Mexicans.
Oh,
not
yeah?
a single one.
Are you sure?
We fucking love those Mexican dudes. Those are or the Hispanic dudes, whatever. Those are the hardest working motherfuckers ever. Just know that.
Oh no,
those
that's
guys.
True. They have a culture of, like, really taking pride in their work,
dude. Like, those guys.
Anytime I've hired a Mexican
it takes
person,
me and
or
my
or
wife.
any Hispanic person. I'm sorry, Mexican, but Mexican. I have a guy who paints some of my rental properties in Detroit. He's Guatemalan. They're just thorough. They're polite.
Yeah.
They price it fair. They do it right.
They work from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. if they have to.
Yeah.
Whereas you got, like, the American dudes.
And they got their whole family on the roof doing the roof. The grandma's there. They got everybody. The cat. Everyone's up there doing the roof.
You got fucking the wife down the ground cooking burritos and shit for them.
Yeah. I mean, selling them to people on the street.
Food carting it.
Her car is a burrito truck. That's the only car she has.
Dude, like I mean, like it'll take me and like 4 coworkers in construction to do a job, and it'll take us all day. It'll take like 3 Mexican dudes, fucking half day, and they fucking bang that shit out.
But when you say white construction, before we go to that, I just want to finish up the point that you made. Majority of things are good. I really do believe that.
Oh, for sure.
I really do. I think the news makes
you and I both have been.
The news makes us look at it that way. I mean, look about it. After 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big migration of Arabs having to come and flee Iraq and Afghanistan or whatever. And what was the view from the Republicans at the time? No,
view from Americans.
Don't let them in. You know,
there was a huge fear after 9/11.
Well, but it was the Republican politicians that were really drumming that beat, whereas the Democrats at the time were like, no, we should give them safe haven. Republicans were like, fuck these motherfuckers, keep them out, terrorism, whatever. How many terrorist attacks have we had on this soil?
Yeah, I mean, outside of 9/11, it's been like few and far between, right?
Very few.
I would say like London's had like what, one a year for fucking ever.
They deserve it.
Jesus. Fuck, there's your ding. We just got canceled. All right, sweet.
I don't know if anybody hears that ding on there, but yeah.
Dude, so what's going to happen is over the next few years you're going to get pretty big in comedy and you're going to book like a show in Britain and they're going to be like, "Nah.
We saw this."
Yeah, come on.
Well, wait. They deserve it, man. They fucking deserve it. Honestly, London, you motherfuckers, come on. They have healthcare, right?
I don't know.
I think they have healthcare.
Do they?
I think they have universal healthcare
I don't know.
in the UK. I think most of like Europe does. And if they don't, then I'm sorry. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you were a British person and you had healthcare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you go out of your way to fix your fucking teeth? These motherfuckers don't fix their teeth.
That's true.
It's like they take pride in their fucking snaggled teeth. How many fucking scientists do I see talking on podcasts and they can't even say nothing? Nothing. It's nothing.
How many people do you see here?
Nothing. They can't even say nothing because their fucking tongue doesn't have a tooth to fucking grab onto. So they have to change it into an F. Nothing.
But how many people here? We're the richest country in the world with like the most resources.
But we don't have healthcare though.
But they hand out toothpaste and toothbrushes fucking everywhere.
That doesn't fix your fucking snaggle
how many
tooth, bro.
people-
You
how many
can't
people
pry a
have-
fucking tooth.
How many people have fucking black teeth and they're just like gamey ass breath?
Why is it got to be black, bro?
I mean, that's what
They're
they
never
are.
black, cuz. That's fucked up.
The black teeth are
It's
the
a
ones that are
different
bad.
color. We should pull out a fucking color swatch, from like Home Depot, and we should pick out a color. It's more like burnt sienna.
Okay.
I've never seen a black tooth, bro.
Have you ever seen a black person? Come on, fuck.
Yeah, have you ever been to fucking Nigeria, motherfucker? What are you fucking talking about?
Oh yeah, I haven't.
You never seen like a black
Like
person?
our shirts? No.
Like what?
Like our shirts?
Like balsamic black. That's Dion Cole's joke. Dion has that on his special. He's like balsamic. He goes
like balsam.
He's like balsamic is blacker than a motherfucker. And he's right. Yeah, no, there's some like beautiful African women that I've seen that like it's like jet black skin, man.
I saw there was a supermodel that has like really dark skin.
Oh,
She's
sure, I've
an
seen a few of them.
Absolute smoke show. Too.
Smoke show,
Oof.
but like the skin's so dark.
Yeah.
So back to the fucking, why is the tooth got to be black, motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You fucking Indiana Republican-y piece of shit.
It's not white. All right.
We got to go to Home Depot and pick a color.
Do I need to get like a color wheel out?
We
Yeah,
should. We should. Get the whole fucking
Yeah, get like the okay.
what was it? Keller
Yeah.
Williams fucking is that a
Sherman Williams.
Sherman Williams.
Sherwin Williams.
Color swatch.
Yeah. And you just like hold it up there and you're just like, look, there we go. Dark brown.
Jason Bacon says burnt sienna, way to harness Bob Ross. Actually, the reason why I know that color, burnt sienna, it was the first color I actually used. So me and my friends in Detroit had this artist commune in downtown Detroit. It was called Seventh Heaven, and it was near the old Second City Detroit. So it was kind of like a frat house for people who went and studied at Second City Detroit. Mm-hmm. And we painted the frat house burnt sienna, and it was a compromise because there's so many roommates. So we compromised on burnt sienna, and then we compromised on doing the trim in like a fancy type like yellow almost. And then it wasn't until we were done that we realized that the entire fucking inside looked like a McDonald's. Just a fancier Regal McDonald's. So it was like instead of red and yellow, instead of like red and yellow, it was burnt sienna and sunrise or some shit.
Oof.
Yeah, so it was
sounds hideous.
It was trash, but we thought we were doing a good thing. And
yeah,
I'll never forget burnt sienna as a color. Never.
Burnt sienna.
So real quick though, bro, We keep jumping into fucking
Yeah,
tangents and shit, man. We went from talking about how
Guns.
majority of people are good,
Yeah.
that we believe that,
Yeah.
right? And then now you're talking about how how do we get on the UK? Oh, we were talking about how we haven't had that many terrorist attacks here on American soil, considering after 9/11 the fear that we thought and the fear that was been peddled to us about these people coming over here, starting cells and whatnot. And
how much of that is media driven, though?
That's what I'm saying. I think, bro.
I think at some point we need to hold the media accountable for everything that they're doing.
No, I think what
There
we
need to
need
be
to do
crimes.
is turn that fucking shit off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Turn that fucking shit off. Here's the thing, man. I think fucking people need to realize you cannot fucking watch your news. I think watching,
especially known biased news.
well, not only that, it's all biased now, especially
Is
on
it really?
TV. On TV.
Well, I know like the Fox News and the CNN and MSNBC.
Before it
is
was
there known biased news stations out there?
back in the day, it
Besides
was
The Onion.
Back in the day, man, it was Fox News that really started ushering this selling opinion as actual news.
Yeah, because that was like right after 9/11.
Right after 9/11.
They really pushed that
They
shit.
spearheaded that shit.
Right.
Other news and journalists were all like, this is fucked up. This is not journalism. But then their numbers kept fucking going up. And Fox News is always being number one. Now we're at a point where they've all adopted that. CNN, Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow is the fucking antithesis of fucking Bill O'Reilly. They're, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like, it's like they're polar opposite parallel universe versions of each other.
You can skew any story to fit your narrative.
And not only that, I think the thing that I don't like about watching the news, Ray, is that it fucking hypnotizes you. I saw it firsthand after 9/11. How do you think I felt? Like one day on 9/10, I woke up that morning, an American, United States Marine, who happens to be Arab and a Muslim, who only saw himself as an American, right?
Right.
And then in one day, over lunch, I went from a United States Marine, American citizen, to now I got to prove to you that I'm not a terrorist.
Right, to a possible terrorist, yeah.
And I fucking turn on the news, and every fucking second, that's all they kept fucking. And I remember for me, on 9/11, the day that it happened, the world stopped. I was working at an oil change. Those planes hit. My boss comes out of the office. I was just checking out a customer, and he whispers in my ear as he comes around behind me to go to the TV room, and he's like, a plane hit the World Trade Center. And then I saw all the guys downstairs running into the room, so I had to cash that lady out. And I'll never fucking forget, dude, when he said that, before I went into the TV room, no cars, no rush. And when I looked out on the busy street, not one fucking car.
Dude, everything stopped.
But it was like I was the last one, is what it felt like.
Really?
That in that moment, it was like I was the last one to find out. Because I remember the guy that I cashed out was like, you could see he had this concern, like he knew, and he had to get going. And then he fucking took off. It was almost like even the birds and the cats were gone watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was just fuck. I looked at. Then when I came around and I saw that shit, I was like, what the fuck? I remember the first plane hit, and I was like, a lot of us, I think, we're thinking this. That first plane hit, we were accident.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck, man? That guy must have
been
been drunk.
Come off,
and when the second one came, bro, every Arab in this country was like, please don't be Arabs.
I don't think anybody thought. I would never ever thought before that Arabs were capable of anything like that.
Me too. Do you know how unorganized Arabs are, bro?
Dude,
I'm probably the most organized Arab in the entire fucking world.
Growing up, like you knew Arabs, you know what I mean? Like you knew, you know what I mean? But you didn't think anything of them. You know what I mean? They were just other people that were here in this country, right? You know what I mean? They're just other people. You know what I mean? Nothing. And then they started showing those pictures of the people, and you're just like, why are they mad at us? What did we do? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, just that fear shit just started happening.
And the funny thing is, I talked to a lot of people like you who lived in Middle America, and it's comforting to hear some of these people say, man, I let the media manipulate me.
I was
I
only
manipulate
17, 18 years old when it happened. So
it's not even only 17. People are in their 40s, 50s. It really affected people, man.
No, for sure.
And here's the thing, as an Arab, that really pissed me off. I remember we sat there the whole day just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we could just go home, but we couldn't. And we're stuck watching at the oil change.
Right.
And bro, not even after an hour or two, they had every picture of the 13 hijackers on TV with their names, where they're from.
Yeah.
And I honestly was like, how the fuck did you figure that shit out that quick?
Right. What did they Facebook it? Like
Yeah.
they tagged their location?
Osama bin Laden didn't even come out and say that he did it.
Oh, like they're doing now? Like anything that happens, like, we did that.
Usually that's what terrorists do.
Right.
As a matter of fact,
Whether it was them or not, I
But-
feel
but
like
here's
they're
the
all
thing.
just like, yeah, that was us.
the news kept pushing that. Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden, and these 13 hijackers, the majority of them from Saudi Arabia, who Saudi Arabia is our ally. There's a lot of sneakiness in this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Okay? And then they fucking do that. And then Osama bin Laden even came out and was like, that was great. Like, you see the video of him. You see the video of him on the thing. Basically, in Arabic, he was like,
pretty dope,
hey,
bro.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I did that. And he was just like, anybody who has done that, I commend them. But nah, not me. And that's very interesting. But
So do you believe the conspiracy aspect of it, that America did that and all that other stuff? Bush did 9/11. Do you believe all that shit?
I remember, bro, I am one of those people, man. I only want to know the truth.
Right.
I'm one of those people, bro.
'Cause there's the bombs that were in, like, the basement or whatever like that. They said that how the buildings collapsed and all that other jazz. Like, I've never looked into it.
I looked into it. You got to
You did?
understand.
Yeah.
My image was being tarnished in the news. So to me, I was hanging on every ounce of news coming out of 9/11, like how every black person now hangs on every bit of news about the Derek Chauvin trial.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because to them, it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very important thing to a lot of black people. They want to know every detail. So when I converse with some black people about it and they go, no, you haven't seen this, have you? Had you seen this? Did you read this? I could tell they're really invested. So I have to tell them, I don't have time to look at it that much. So as far as I'm concerned, you're the resident expert.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have to be up to me if I have time to do the research. But when I was a kid looking up 9/11, man, there were a lot of things that made me go, what in the fuck? But at the same time, I was very good at not falling for the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Bush did it. I don't think Bush did it, dude. I think if anybody did it, it was Cheney. You know, I mean, I don't think Bush himself was really running anything. If you really
Kinda
look
like
at
the situation now.
Yeah. Oh, now even more so, bro. Fucking Biden.
Biden's just a puppet, right?
He's a casket.
He doesn't even know he's there.
Casket 2020. Yeah. Fucking but yeah, exactly. But of course, not as bad as Biden. But what I'm saying is I believe they let it happen.
Yeah.
Because there was already.
You think they let it happen, or they were like naive to it? Like almost like come on, bro. We're too powerful for this shit.
There was the proven report that Condoleezza Rice got intelligence handed to her a couple of months before 9/11 that the intelligence said, we have intelligence that says that Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda is planning an attack on U.S. soil. And they didn't do anything about it. They didn't take that information and put any action into it whatsoever. You know? Now, here's the thing. Whether they let it happen or did it, I think that's besides the point. I think what's really important is what they did after.
Right.
They used it. They used that opportunity to take us to war to Iraq, and not one of the hijackers were fucking Iraqi. Why didn't we go into Saudi Arabia? Well, that's because they give us all the oil.
Yeah. They're our friends.
They're our friends. So instead, it's just like, let's take out Iraq and Afghanistan. It's fucking. It was dirty. It was really dirty what they did.
There's some fucked up shit going on for sure.
But not only that, do you know about that document that they created, the New American Century? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea. No.
New American Century. Hold on a second. New American. They created a document, this manifesto.
When was this?
Project for the New American Century. Here it is. Can I share this? Is that possible? Boom. There it is. Oh, I'm actually sharing it online. That's the first time I actually shared my screen. I hope I don't have any porn up. So here, I'm sharing on the screen. The Project for the New American Century was a neoconservative think tank based in Washington, D.C. that focused on United States foreign policy. It was established as a nonprofit education organization in 1997, founded by William Crystal and Robert Keegan.
What's neoconservative? Like far right?
Yeah, the neoconservatives.
Like alt-right almost?
Not alt-right. The neocons.
Mm-hmm.
That was a term given to the new type of conservatives that were emerging in the early 2000s. You know, they were conservatives, but they weren't classic conservatives anymore. They were more conservatives that would say, "Hey, we should have smaller government, but give us all the power to blow up countries. Give us all the power to tell women what to do with their bodies. Give us all the power to fucking like deregulate shit." And so, anyways, this people should read into this. This document that they wrote calls for regime change in Iraq. They wrote it in 1998, and in it actually says that the only way that we'll be able to get this manifesto accepted by the American people is if something catastrophic happens.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's why a lot of conspiracy theorists were pointing into this thing. Because here in this manifesto that they wrote for the New American Century, basically it's a manifesto saying, how do we control the world more? How do we, really drive our stake into this whole new world where everything is becoming one world? And how do we be on the top of that? And in it, it literally states, I'm trying to see if I can see it, but like here's a section right here. It says, calls for regime change. In 1998, Crystal and Keegan advocated regime change in Iraq throughout the Iraqi disarmament process through articles that were published in the New York Times, following perceived Iraqi unwillingness to cooperate with UN weapons. So there was this whole thing, and I'm trying to see if it's in here, because I read shortly after the attacks. So basically, and I remember I was reading this a long time ago, basically a lot of people point out to this, and they say, well, what the fuck? It's almost like 9/11 was the exact thing you needed to start this whole thing.
That was the fucking pull start right there, huh?
So
that's crazy.
It's crazy, dude.
I do like some of the conspiracy stuff, but I just haven't gone down that rabbit hole enough yet.
To me,
in my head, in my naive, stupid American head, I'm like, America's doing good things. You know what I mean?
Dude.
But I'm also a straight white male in this country, so I'm allowed to be naive to like certain things, right?
Well, I don't think that you're allowed to.
Or not allowed to be, but
I think just in
I'm comfortable enough being naive with that shit, right?
Listen, bro, I have privilege. I don't like the fact that people think that privilege only comes with being white.
I don't think it does. I think there's.
I have privilege. Me being an American.
Yeah.
I have way more privilege that even I'm naive to fucking shit about Yemen and what my people are fucking going through. Not only that, man.
You go to most other countries in this world, and we have it pretty fucking sexy.
You know how we started this podcast, and I said, you're Republican-y, and I'm Democrat-y, right? Right? I don't consider myself, like, hardcore liberal, but I lean that way, right? Fuck, I forgot the point that I was going to make. I was going to make a real good point.
That's sweet. I feel like I lean more liberal too. Like I'm all about gay marriage. I'm all about trans rights. I'm all about all that stuff.
You're all about it?
I'm all about it. I don't know about women in sports.
Yeah.
The transgenders in sports. I don't know about that.
Just women in anything.
Just like the WNBA. Cut it out.
We should go back to Saudi Arabia 2000. You know, ladies,
Yeah.
back to the fucking kitchen.
I mean,
You're done driving. No more driving.
Look at car accidents in this country.
Cover your face.
Cover your face.
Wear the booty burqa. Hide your butt.
Ninjas without swords.
Yes, hey, that's my joke.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude. So 9/11, man. I will say this: I really like to pay attention to the things that made sense. Like they said, a missile hit the Pentagon. Remember, because the plane that hit the Pentagon, what really blew people away was, if you look at the record data of the way the plane flew,
mm-hmm.
how fast it went over the freeway, how sharp of a turn it made at that speed, how low it had to fly at that speed over the freeway, knocking, mind you, all the light poles on its way to the Pentagon. Because the Pentagon is a very short building.
It's only like, what, 6 stories or something stupid like that?
It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
How does a Arab guy who...
Learn on crop dusting planes.
Yeah, and his instructor said he was the worst one. Out of
Really?
the whole fucking ones that, like, he was the worst one. And the night before, they were getting drunk at a strip club before they went out. So he's hungover. And he was able to do a maneuver that many pilots went on record and said doesn't make sense. How can you go that fast? Like some people said, how do you go that fast and make that turn, let alone with just your hands?
Yeah.
He said the force is so hard for you to steer it that fast that some people say it must have been automatically driven. And lo and behold, NORAD, the North American Space Defense system that controls all the aviation around, apparently they have the ability to tap into a plane and control it. Do you know that when a plane lands, a lot of the times the tower is controlling it at
Really?
that point? Yeah.
Is that true?
It can be, yeah.
It can be true?
I'm serious. Hold on a second.
I've never heard that before, ever. But I don't ever. Why would I look into that? I've been on some pretty rough landings on planes.
So this is my thing, man. The conspiracy thing is a little crazy when it comes to 9/11. And then in the end, bro, we can debate forever about the crazy stuff that could be conspiracies. To me, I'd rather point out the things that make sense, that are natural. So, for example, everyone thought a missile hit the Pentagon because everyone's like, there's no way.
Right.
And I'd be going on the internet and people be talking, oh, it was a missile. It was a missile. It was a missile. And I found this other guy who had this site called whatreallyhappened.com, and it was great because this guy was all about going, let's stop fucking making stupid stories. Let's just show the evidence. And he had all the pictures. So you saw the picture from the aerial footage of the Pentagon, and sure enough, pieces of the plane. It was a plane.
Right.
It wasn't a missile, right? And then there was this big conspiracy where everyone knew that there was a security camera facing the Pentagon when the plane hit. They only released 5 frames.
Oh, yeah, it's like the boom, then in, right?
They only released 5 frames. Most cameras shoot 30 frames in 1 second. Every second is 30 frames. The people were calling, we want to see the fucking camera footage.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave us 5 blurry frames.
What if there's something bigger? What if it's like aliens? What if it's like something that if we all found out, with fucking chaos?
Yeah. What if it is like future humans that use time machines to come back and instruct our government on things that they need to do to implement so that it will have a cascading event and make the future better?
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. What if it's like they're like living in the future just going, dude, this fucking sucks.
Arabs are going to get it. We're going to fucking, this is how we...
The Arabs are over there doing fantastic. We need to get all the resources. How are we going to do that? Got it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2001. Fucking attack the Americans.
Blow up the Pentagon.
Yep.
It'll confuse the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
And we'll blame it on a guy who can't fly a plane.
Yeah. They're like foolproof. Let's go.
So those are the things that are really, really, really. Yeah, I want to see. I want to see if can NORAD control planes, because I think it can. I think as a safety measure, like if they can,
And why would anything ever crash?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, if they can control planes, where's that flight Malaysia plane? You know what I mean? Like, that's another one that's crazy.
That's a very good question, dude. These are a lot of things. I haven't looked into this stuff in a really long time, and I'm sure a lot of the stuff that I'm sure at the time was bullshit. But I really, really tried very hard not to allow the bullshit to be the thing that would guide me when I would look into this. But here's another argument that people make.
Oh, whenever I look into stuff, it's always like 4 or 5 different articles I read on, and then just because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to be skewed in one way or another.
I try to triangulate my
right.
But only if the news really matters, like to me, like if it's something sometimes you don't have time to do that. But like, so for example, I like to use like Palestine and Israel as an example. So if something happens in Palestine, myself as an Arab, I would more want to lean towards stories that tell me that the Palestinians are good and then the Israelis are fucking up, right?
Yeah.
But in order for me to really get to the bottom of it, let's say something happens, right? Something happens. CNN will show me something. I'll go to Fox News to see what they have to say. Mm-hmm. Then after I go from there, I'll go to the Jerusalem Post, which is a very conservative, leaning Israeli paper.
Right.
And then I'll go to the Haaretz, which is a liberal-leaning Israeli paper. And then I'll go to Palestinian source. Then I'll go to Al Jazeera. And what will happen is I will start to be able to see what the things that are repeated. And the things that are repeated will, to me, be like, okay, this is to me kind of sort of confirmation that these things that are being repeated are the facts.
Right.
And then you'll start to see their little
start meshing them all together.
You'll start seeing, but then you'll start seeing their little spin that they put on it.
Right.
You know, there's this terminology that I'm really into, man. It's called nut picking. I heard a journalist on the Joe Rogan podcast said that his friend coined this term nut picking, and he says this is the problem with the media and a lot of people in this world today. He's like, you're not getting real good journalism now because everyone's nut picking. Meaning, for example, I listen to Ben Shapiro sometimes. I do it so I can get another view, right? But I don't nut pick. So he's a nut picker. A nut picker is someone who's like, come watch my show. I'm going to show you how conservatives are great and how liberals are nutty.
Right.
And what I'm going to do is I'm only going to show you examples of liberals that are the fucking craziest, dumbest liberals. Right. And my whole show is going to be showing you these dumb fucking liberals. So the whole show is nut picking. And that's all we're doing. We're doing it on a journalistic thing, and we're also doing it on a personal thing. Whereas, like, if some of my friends that are liberals, they'll watch Ben Shapiro, and they'll literally watch Ben Shapiro just to latch on to something that he says that's nutty so that they can go, look how fucking stupid he is.
Right.
So I try to exercise mining for gold. So I'll listen to Ben Shapiro and all the nutty stuff. I'll just
listen for
pay attention to him. It's like
when he actually hits you with like.
And then
something.
Sometimes he'll say something that will enlighten me to something the Democrats are doing that I won't hear on a Democrat-leaning talk person. Does that mean that's the nugget of gold?
That's important. That's what all of us need to do.
Exactly.
All of us.
For real.
If you're far right or far left, you're both the fucking problem in this country. Like, that's what that is.
Yup. And white people.
Fucking
white people, bro. You gotta fuck up everything, man. Listen, bro. White liberals are fucking shit up right now.
White liberals are the most racist people in the world.
Bro. I never...
Like, they think...
That's the privilege I have.
They think people of color are the weakest people in the world.
And you know what's fucking funny, man, is that, like, before you would have said that to me, and me as a minority, I would have been kind of offended. But because this pandemic has really forced me to start doing more gold mining for information, right? All these nuts are being thrown at me, and I'm having to look for the fucking pieces of gold, and I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see it on my own side, which is why I wish more conservatives that I know would also do the same thing. Start looking at your own side and start realizing how nutty your fucking own mindset is because you're following some of these nutty things that are coming from your side. I had that mentality where it was like, oh no, liberals are just so awesome for minorities. It's a yes and a no, but sometimes they've placated minorities so much that in so many ways it's made minorities weaker.
It has.
Do you know what I'm talking
They're
about?
coddling them.
Coddling.
They're coddling them, and they're just like let them fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
let them be adults and grow up and like learn how the world is.
But here's the thing, though. You saying that makes you racist now. You saying that.
No, like liberals, like liberals need to like let. You know what I mean?
No, but even you saying that.
What?
Right now to liberals, they'll watch this and be like, "That's a very racist thing to say, white guy."
What?
That what? You should just let them grow up. What? They're not grown up. What? Yeah. They're not fucking whatever. And
no, it's right. Yeah.
What you're saying is, though, here's the thing. What you're saying is, I'm starting to fucking understand it now. Like, some conservatives make the argument, and I kind of lean towards this, where it's like, it's not helping minorities to give them handouts.
It's not helping anyone.
It's not helping anyone, but anyone.
Right. You got some, even poor white family. You got some poor white family living in a fucking shack. They're not benefiting
from getting welfare.
From getting welfare
from
any of that.
They're not
shit.
benefiting from realizing that, hey, if I have another kid, I get more money.
Right.
Right?
If you need welfare because you're struggling to make ends meet, fuck, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? I make money. I'm fine with helping out my fellow Americans.
But I want to help. I don't want to
help.
Coddle.
I don't want to. Yeah, exactly.
I want to help, and I want to.
If you're a single mom who lost her job and you need fucking help, I'm gonna help you out.
I want my money to help people who really fucking need it.
Exactly.
And I would like us to develop.
That's where the conservative in me comes in.
I would like to develop a system to where it's not easily taken advantage of. I think the government is really good at going, hey, we're going to help people, but then we're just going to create a system that's so easy to exploit.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. It shouldn't be. Like you remember years ago when they were like, we're going to start drug testing if you want welfare. And everyone was like, oh, you can't do that shit. It's wrong. It's like, you want fucking money? Stay off of drugs. How are you getting money for the drugs? You know what I mean? Like, how you, like...
That is pretty interesting. That is a pretty interesting argument. I see, when you say that, to me, part of me goes, that makes sense. But then there's another part of me that's just like,
Right.
So part of me is like,
see, I'm the same way.
Part of me is like, oh, that's too much control. You're asking for too much government control. There's like, listen, dude, I don't know what needs to be put in place.
But if somebody's going to better their lives, right? You got to get off the drugs. You got to get off of, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like if I'm trying to lose weight.
But if somebody is like really on drugs, Ray, like what type of drugs are we talking about?
I'm not talking about weed. Like I don't think weed's like, but if they're like on heroin and meth and shit like that, and you want welfare so you can sit at home and do nothing and do fucking weed or meth. I almost said weed, but meth all day. Then
if somebody's on meth, yeah. But at the same time, they still need to eat. So what if somebody's addicted to meth?
That's true too. That
is
true.
Somebody's addicted. What if somebody's addicted to meth and then you're just gonna cut them off?
Yeah, I just.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's like so many.
No, there's a gray area to all this shit, right?
So,
like
it's so complex.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like
it's not like a black and white situation.
We're
right?
also
there's all that gray area and so much of it.
We're also not kind in this country to people who have drug problems. We're starting to get better at it.
We are. I think so for sure.
I think as a whole, we're getting more compassionate and understanding that being addicted to drugs is got to be looked at like a disease, like something that we need to, instead of like Bill Hicks.
Instead of looking down on them.
Yeah, Bill Hicks.
You need to understand that
in the 90s
they're human too, right?
Bill Hicks had this setup for a joke, but he was talking because I don't know if you ever listened to Bill Hicks. He would get preachy sometimes, but he would say such really smart shit. And he was like, why is the drug czar in this country a cop? Why is the drug czar in this country someone who looks at people with addiction with condemnation instead of compassion? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to get there now. Now I'm starting to see that we're starting to open up our minds about drugs and like the effect. So back on that person with meth and welfare. If anything, we should try to get that person help.
We should get them help.
You know, but do they want the help?
That's another thing too.
You know,
that's what I mean. Gray area.
If they don't want the help,
some people just want to fucking do meth.
Does that
mean?
Does that mean that they shouldn't eat? I mean, it's such a fucking weird thing.
Weird little rabbit hole, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah. But what were we talking about before? Like, how did we get into the whole meth thing though? We were talking about welfare.
We were fuck, I don't remember.
How white liberals fuck everything up.
Oh, white liberals, yeah. And we were talking about
coddling,
nutting, and all that other stuff.
Coddling, yeah. The whole,
nutting, just saying it like that.
Liberals,
we were talking about nutting. Bro.
Liberals being racist. Liberals are, it's so fucking funny.
It's like the voter laws.
Not all liberals, obviously, but I'm saying these far left liberals,
right.
the ones that like lean to the side, and they're, you know who the majority of them? They're white.
Right.
It's, you know what it is, dude? It's white guilt that's the problem on all sides.
Right. They're trying to like, hey, I know we owned slaves like forever ago, but like, let me make it up to you by blah, 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 blah. Like,
let me make it up to you by, this is the sick thing. Let me make it up to you with rhetoric.
Right.
Let me make it up to you by going out of my way to go, look, I'm a good white person.
Right. Yeah.
Look, I support reparations. Not even going to think about what that means. And I support this okay. Can we get into, I want to get into this. Okay.
Let's do it.
This is something I probably can't get into with my liberal friends too much. I want to try to have my friend Trey Stewart on here, who's a hilarious black comedian from Detroit, kind of political. I do want to get it in with him, but this is the thing that really pissed me off. Do you remember Jacob Blake?
Yeah.
The guy who got shot 7 times in the back?
Yes, he was running, right?
Kind of. So I wanna use the Jacob Blake thing for how I think things are fucked up in this country in terms of how we react to certain things. Mm-hmm. Right? I lean left. Have you ever been snowboarding or skateboarding or anything like that?
Skateboarding when I was a kid.
Okay. Do you remember how you had to like find your dominant foot?
Right. Yeah.
They'd make you stand up against a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd tell you to lean forward and catch yourself.
And the one that comes out is
the one that comes out is your dominant foot.
Right.
Okay. If we use that analogy, I consider myself liberal and somewhat conservative, right? Mm-hmm. But if push comes to shove, if I were to do that, lean forward on a political sense, my left foot always comes out. I lean left. Mm-hmm. Knee-jerk reaction for me is always leaning left. Jacob Blake gets shot 7 times in the back. I wake up the next morning. I open up my Instagram. D.L. Hughley, who's very, very, very political and stuff, he means well, but sometimes he jumps the gun too quick, and it forces other people to jump the gun too quick. And all I saw was the video. It pops up, and all you see is minivan. Jacob Blake, cop holding a gun, screaming at him. Jacob Blake calmly walks to his fucking truck, minivan, opens the door to go in.
Oh, that's the Jacob Blake
right?
one. I was thinking of the one of the guy running through the park, and he got shot in the back.
No.
Jacob Blake's the one that happened like last year.
Yeah, not too long ago.
He was reaching into his
car, and then they shot him 7 times in the back.
Yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah.
This is the thing, man. This is where we get ourselves fucked in this country. So I watched that video, Ray, and right away, I fucking was pissed.
Right.
I leaned left. I was pissed, bro. I was like, fuck that cop. What the fuck do you think you are, shooting the fucking black guy in the back 7 fucking times, you fucking racist piece of shit? Pissed off, bro. Pissed off. Now, that's where most people stop.
Right. They don't dig farther.
Most of my liberal friends or anybody, even on the conservative side, they see something, they get that knee-jerk reaction, and then they stop there.
Right.
I saw that video, pissed me the fuck off. That's where I fucking stopped. Then I looked into it. And when I looked into it, you know what ended up happening? I got mad at myself for jumping the gun too early.
Right.
Because I actually found out what happened. It's not fair that we only saw that video. And then I see a lot of my black friends posting racist cop, racist cop, racist cop,
right,
racist
and the
cop.
rioting and then all that other shit.
You know what? And then you know who else the most? White liberal friends. Oh, fuck. Using this video to show virtue that they're not that racist white guy, right?
Yeah.
And if anybody says anything about it, well, fuck, man, you must be racist then, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm a thinking person. I start doing my research. What do I find out? This is exactly what happened. Is this cop racist? because he was there helping a black woman.
Yeah.
The black woman made the phone call.
Because he was harassing her.
She has a PPO against him.
Right.
He's not even supposed to be at the house. I think he was the father of her children, right? He went to the house, avoiding, not supposed to be there. Takes the kids, puts the kids in the fucking minivan, is about to take them. The cop gets the call. The dispatcher tells him, this is the guy's name. He has a warrant out for his arrest. He has violent priors. He's had other violent run-ins with the cops of resisting arrest. He's in and out of jail. He's a fucking piece of shit. And now he's at this lady's house, not supposed to be there legally, and he's got the kids in the van.
Right.
When you take that into consideration, it's like, okay, this changes everything. Now, the cops get there. They didn't pull the gun out on him right away. They asked him, hey, you have a warrant out for your arrest. We got to take you in. You're not supposed to be here anyway. He resists arrest. They pull out the gun. Please don't resist arrest. He's like, fuck you. I'm walking to the truck. The minivan. Walks to the minivan, opens the door, reaches in. What is he going for?
Right.
What the fuck is he going for?
Right.
Now, you as a cop, I hate to say this because I can almost feel my liberal friends already ready to call me racist. Right? If I was that fucking cop, you know what's going through my fucking mind?
Gun. Going for a weapon or something.
Hold on.
Right?
Many things. Is he going for a gun? Is he going to kill those kids in the car?
Right.
What if those kids were in danger? What is his motive with these kids? What if this guy woke up one day and was just like, I'm going to fucking kill these kids and bury them in a fucking field somewhere?
Right.
So not only does the cop is there to help this black woman who's being harassed by this dude.
Right.
He might be going to a gun to kill the cop, or he might be killing those kids. And then he puts 7 bullets in his back. Now, one of my white friends posted a video, scathing little thing that they wrote there. And I came in and I just said the truth. I was like, yeah, but he was resisting arrest. He had a warrant out for his arrest. And he had a restraining order where he wasn't supposed to be there. And he took the girls, women, blah, blah, blah. Guess what the response was? Wow, Mike. I can't believe you. You just think it's okay for a black man to get shot 7 times in his back.
Right.
This is not a white person that gives a flying fuck about the truth. All they care about is, please know I'm not racist.
Right.
Please.
That's it. That's all that it is.
Please know I'm not racist.
Yeah.
I'm not racist.
Yeah,
Look, I even told my Arab friend he's racist for saying this. Hello.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I know that's just shitty, but like, guys, look at me. Look what I got going on right now. Like, I'm a good one.
Ray, it's fucking nauseating.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Fucking nauseating. I cannot believe it. And the thing is, I'm constantly waking up, always. I'm always trying to find ways to wake the fuck up. This pandemic made me really wake up out of another layer of liberal programming that I've had.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have you seen the girl that got shot the other day? Have you seen anything like that? The 16-year-old girl that got shot?
I've been kind of staying out of the news for a second. I've been really busy. What can you
so,
fill us in?
So what happened, right? So I woke up the other morning with the news article like all over my Facebook page. Cop shoots 16-year-old black girl. And I'm just like, fuck, are you serious, dude? Come on, man. And then you start looking into it. So this girl is getting followed home. The girl that got shot, it gets followed home by these 2 bullies that are trying to like bully her, right? She goes into her house. She calls the cops. She comes outside. And then all these girls start fighting. And that's when the cop rolls up. And the cop rolls up and he sees the fucking girl that gets shot, who's the one who called the cops. She picks up a knife and she goes to stab another girl.
She's shot.
And she gets shot. Yeah.
No, hold on. The girl who called the cops has been shot.
No, she's not been shot. The cop's the one who shoot her when they roll up.
So the girl is being harassed by these people. Violently?
I think they were there to fight each other.
Okay. They came to her house.
They came to her house, so she called the cops.
She's at her house.
She's at her house. She calls the cops, and then she goes outside, and then they start fighting, and then a knife comes out, and that girl picks up a knife, the one that was getting harassed, picks up the knife and goes to stab a girl as the cops show up, and the cops immediately shoot her. They don't know what the situation is, right? They just see a girl about to stab another human being.
What are you going to do?
What
They
are you
don't
gonna do?
know
In
which
that
one was
split-
the person
in
that called.
split second. And they were like, put the knife down, and they shot her as she was going to stab somebody else. But the news articles were all like, cop shoots black teen. And you see how like triggering that is.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Not cop saves black teen. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the
That's
media.
because it's cool now. That's why.
Yeah,
It's
the
cool.
The media needs to be held accountable for the damage that it's doing to all of us.
And right now, all of our problems are because of white supremacy.
Exactly. Do you know a white supremacist?
You.
Fuck off. I mean, I think white people are better. I'm just kidding. No.
You do. You feel that.
I mean, we are. I mean, look at all the good we've done with this. I'm just fucking with you. No,
I got a new gun. You
I'm
want to
just
see it? You
fuck-
want to
I'm
see
just
my new
fucking
gun,
with
bro? I got a
everyone.
new gun.
Yeah. Please, I like doing comedy. Don't take this shit away from me. Please. No, but like honestly, like, do you know any like truly racist people?
Yes.
You do? My group of people, I don't know any of them that are racist. I know people that have like said fucked up things, but they're just either like uneducated, they don't know any better.
Hold on a second. I see. This is where I don't believe it, man. Maybe I'm more honest than you. I keep hearing a lot.
I'm more naive for sure.
I keep hearing a lot of like my white friends saying, "I don't know any racist people," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." I know a lot of racist Arabs.
See, I don't know like any people
I think
that
there's
are like
racists
truly
every
hateful.
fucking where, bro. Okay.
Truly
Okay,
hateful.
hold on. When you say truly hateful, what do you mean?
Like they just absolutely hate all black people.
Meaning
Or
that
they
would
hate
they would let a black person die in front of them.
Yes. I don't know any of those people.
I don't know any of those people too. I do know.
I know people that are prejudiced towards people who look a certain way.
Yeah, and they disgust me, and I don't really hang out with
But I
those
don't think
people
that's
anymore.
racist.
I grew up with some Arabs in Detroit that were pretty fucking racist. Not hateful in that sense. Like they would say terrible things about black people, right? But if push came to shove, they would save a black person.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, for sure. Yeah. So like,
But
I
it's still
don't know anybody
disgusting.
who's like, there's a black guy in town. Let's go fucking drag him out and lynch him. I don't know any of those fucking people.
I grew up with kids like that.
You did?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude.
Like I've never seen any of that
Have
type
you ever
of
watched
shit
the movie?
in my life.
Have you ever watched the movie Bronx Tale?
No, I have not. No.
Very good movie, bro. Very good movie. It takes place in the 50s. There's a bunch of Italian kids. Robert De Niro's in it. It's a bunch of Italian kids. There's this like one scene where it kind of establishes this. You follow this one Italian kid, and he has a bunch of other Italian thug friends that he hangs out with, and they're like hanging out in their Italian neighborhood in the 50s in New York, and a black kid comes riding his bike, and they all fucking chase him down to keep him out of the fucking neighborhood. And they're all fucking really racist. It's a really good movie because then later on, that Italian kid, the main character, falls in love with a black girl from the other side of town.
So it's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of
Kinda.
thing.
It's a really good movie, dude.
Yeah.
Such a good message. Very fucking good movie. I had moments like that with some of these fucking asshole kids that I grew up with in my neighborhood, man.
That's what I think.
I was Yemeni. They were Lebanese. Now, I can't say this about all Lebanese, but the Lebanese people that I did grow up with, there was a good portion of them that really loved being racist. Like it was like a unifying thing. Fuck those black people. Yeah, fuck those black people. Like I remember one time, like I was sitting around and these black kids in a van came driving by in our neighborhood, just like Bronx Tale. And all these fucking kids got up and they fucking got in their cars to chase them down. And I remember I ran with them a little bit because it's like these are my friends.
Right.
And I remember like I lost steam halfway because I'm like,
That's how it is with you and all your hardcore left friends.
I was like, why am I
Same shit now, right?
What?
Is you were like running with your like hardcore liberal friends and now you're like losing steam and you're just like, why am I
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? The same shit you're doing now,
Yeah,
right?
but that was like, in one moment of running towards these guys and like, these kids are out. We were young, bro. I'm talking like 13, 14, and then some of us, like there was another guy that was 16. He had a car, but like it was you do what people around you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't raised like that, bro. My dad had a coworker named Odie.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Odie because I loved Garfield, and Garfield's
Oh,
dog's name was Odie.
Yeah.
And he was the first black man to come to our neighborhood, our all Arab neighborhood, to come have dinner with us.
Yeah.
And that's no big deal, right?
Right.
But back then, I remember going out to play with my friends, and I was really young at the time. I was like 8 years old. And this one Lebanese kid walks up and he's like, "Hey, who was that N-word that came into your house yesterday?" And I remember my dad always told me, I'm like, his name is Odie. Why? Why'd you let him over? And like I kept hearing more and more. He was like I was in the 50s.
Right.
And it was like just so close-minded. But they were new immigrants, mind you. These are Lebanese kids who had to move to Dearborn because Israel was bombing them in the 80s, like I told you earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are people that everything's a culture shock to them. Black people to them probably is what they see in the movies. Oh, they're all the bad people. They're all the bad
gangsters
people.
and all that other shit, right? Yeah.
Now that we're 2, 3, 4 generations in, that's not the case in my neighborhood anymore. You go over there and it's black people hanging out with Arabs. They're playing basketball. They're going to each other's restaurants. It's a totally different world.
Yeah.
But while I was growing up, bro, yeah, I saw that type of racism, man.
Yeah, see, I never did. See, I grew
That's
up.
crazy. You never did.
I grew up in like.
Wow.
To be fair, though, to me, I grew up in a mostly white area, right? So there wasn't a whole lot of. There was no
different
type of people, right?
You didn't have much of a.
But I also grew up with like.
There's no data to collect.
Right. But I also grew up.
Yeah. Let's go take those people and let's take them to like one of the black clubs in Detroit and see how they.
No, but I also grew up with my parents are like very Republican. Both my parents are very like Trump. You know what I mean? Like they liked Trump and all that other shit. But
shit.
Yeah. But my parents have never ever said anything racist in their entire lives. My dad taught me at a young age, you know what I mean? Respect all people, all that other shit. So you know what I mean? Like
Are your parents racist?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. My dad has never said anything hateful towards people of color. Maybe the gays, but that's about it. That's
The gays are not real people anyway.
Oh my gosh. They are.
No, they're not.
They're pretending, but I'm
they're-
just kidding.
They're an abomination, bro.
Oh wow. No. Nah, they're cool people. Have I ever said anything racist?
Have I?
Have I?
Have you?
I mean,
Are you asking me to ask you this? Have you said anything racist?
I have not.
This
Have
is
I
your
said
fucking way
Have
of
I said
telling-
anything racist around you? Have you like caught up on anything like that? Have you ever done anything hateful towards like anybody around you?
No hateful. I think you've said some things that could come across racist by the way of your wording and your ignorance.
Yeah.
I
see. Yeah.
But it's innocent. To me, I'm a good judge of like what is hateful racism and what's ignorant racism, because sometimes people are just ignorant and they mean well. They don't really know.
I asked you something that some people probably would have thought was racist. What was it? I asked you something last night.
Here's something. I'll use this as an example of not knowing, of doing something racist. Have you ever had someone gyp you?
Chip me?
Gyp you.
Gyp me? No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you like don't get the services you want or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
when they
gypped me.
Yeah, when someone will gyp you, like, so for example, you'll try to buy something and then they sell you something fake,
Something that's not what you wanted,
or what it is.
So that's like gypping you, right?
Or they gypped you, right? Do you know where that comes from?
Gyp, like the word? No.
Gypsy. It's a racist term for
I
gypsy.
see. Yeah.
So this whole time for so long, I would always use that word. Man, this guy gypped me. Fuck that guy. He gypped me. He fucking gypped me. Had no idea that it was gypsy. It's just another way of saying he Jewed me.
Right. Which is something my mom has said, and we called her out on that.
Right, but my point...
My mom goes, so I tried to buy this piano the other day, and this guy tried to Jew me.
Yeah.
And I was like, And all of us kids were just like, Mom, come on, you can't say shit like that. She's like, what's wrong with it? I'm like,
Jude me right.
I mean, listen to what you're saying.
Exactly what you're saying. But see, here's the thing, though.
But it's not hateful in her head.
She's not thinking about it like that.
Right. It's just a
Some
phrase
people
to
are.
her.
But what I'm saying is when I say gypped or whatever, it was to me when I learned the word gypped, I just thought it was a slang term you use for getting ripped off.
Right.
Had no idea it had anything to do with gypsies.
Right.
It's great. So that's my point.
It's like when you were a kid, like when you were like, oh, that's gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I never, like we never said anything like.
And we never meant it towards gay people.
No, like we were young, we were stupid. We didn't know really what gay people were back then. You know what I mean?
I knew what they were, but it wasn't.
It wasn't hateful towards gay people.
Or faggot. Faggot was a word that was definitely used.
Dude, that was my favorite word. Fag when I was a kid. That was
calling someone a faggot was so like fucking rewarding because it's such a harsh word. You know what I mean?
It's a harsh word.
And I never said it to a gay person. I never said it to a gay person.
Yeah. It was you could be kissing a girl right here. I'm like, fag.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what?
That's just fun amongst other people. But my point is like that word faggot.
Yeah.
You fucking faggot. Especially when you put like alliterate, you fucking faggot.
Yeah.
You know? And I would say it to people, I never said it to a gay person. It was just a harsher way to say asshole.
Yeah. And there was nothing no
you
negative there was
faggot.
no like you don't say it to a fucking stranger. Unless they're like really pissed you off or something like that. But typically it's
I still don't.
You call your buddies fags and faggots. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I just called my friend fag in the I don't know if you know the comedian Nick Simmons.
I don't know him.
He's a New York comic. He knows Neil Rubenstein. He lives in L.A. now. He just moved
yeah.
to L.A. He saw me doing a show with Neil a couple days ago, and he was like, "Oh man, tell that guy I love him." And I was like, "Fag."
Yeah.
You know, it's just
dude.
that's
I
not what
swear,
I mean.
if you could look through my phone right now, I would be canceled today.
Oh, I think a lot of us, bro.
And those fucking people that pretend like they're not.
Yeah.
I don't trust those people at all.
Yeah.
It's like a white person. Like I've never said the N-word. It's like bullshit. It's how you said it is what makes you a good person or not.
George Carlin had that bit, right? He listed all these horrible words. He even said the N-word. He goes, "There's nothing wrong with any of these words in and of it themselves.
Right.
It's the racist piece of shit who's saying it that you should be concerned about."
Exactly.
You know?
Like those people like, I've never seen color. It's like bullshit. It's the first thing you notice about anybody that you see ever in this world. It's what you do with the information that makes you a piece of shit or not.
Exactly. You don't see color. That's some fucking stupid ass bullshit, dude.
Right.
I think people are using that.
You can see me and you together and know that we're not the same race.
I don't see color, I think, is kind of a way of saying, not that I don't see color. I think it's a way of saying, I don't let color dictate how I will view you, is the idea, is
right.
what I think that the sentiment most people say when they say
poorly worded.
It's a poorly, just like defund the police.
Right.
So fucking poorly worded, bro. I understand the sentiment.
Right.
The sentiment is not we're trying to fucking defund the police. It's you got to restructure the way we're fucking funding the police.
Reword some stuff or rework some.
Let's rework some shit.
Yeah,
let's take money away from them having so many fucking guns and armaments, and let's put some of that money towards mandatory psychological eval every 2 weeks or a month. There
needs to be commercials on TV. Just like I'm some happy, jolly guy, just like touring a neighborhood, and just like, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like there needs to be like that kind of propaganda coming towards us to make us look at like cops as like good people again.
The thing is, man, is that
because
bro,
cops
so
right now
long,
are the villains.
It's so weird.
And there's so like I know good cops.
I know good cops too, man.
I mean, it's just like
I know.
what we were talking about
I'm
earlier.
former military.
There's lots of good, and that little bit of evil is like what fucks up everything, right?
You know, it's funny that you say that, man, because for a very long time, man, even before defund the police, bro, for a long time, I've been constantly having debates with people, and I would always bring up, we need to get the people and the police to sort of be together again, because every year we just get more and more separated, and more separated, and more. And here's the thing, I don't think it helps that police have a culture where they can't call each other out.
Right.
That's really that's
very true. But it's like
very,
that with like a lot of stuff though. Like you rarely ever see like a football player calling out his teammate, and when he does, it's like frowned upon, right?
But a football player is not shooting people.
That's true. No, I'm just saying, but it's just but they should be, right? And that was the thing that came out with the Chauvin dude, is a lot of his cop buddies, not at the time, because if at the time, it would have been a fucking completely different story, but like after that happened, they were like, you should not be kneeling on his fucking neck like that. Like, all these cops came out, like, against what he did. Even during his trial, there were a lot of cops that were, like, on the trial stand. They were
First
just
thing
like,
I did, started calling a couple of my cop buddies that I'm good friends with.
mm-hmm.
Just picking their brain, you know?
And all of them were like, no, this is fucked up.
Bro, it was a good call on these guys because, you know, like my one friend, I asked him, I was like, what do you think about this? And he's like, that guy tarnished our profession.
He did.
He's like, he tarnished our profession. He's like, that guy fucked up.
Did you see anybody?
And here's the thing.
Anybody on your social media like saying, like defending the cop? Because I didn't.
Mm-mm.
I didn't see whether you're right or left.
Even
or
my
whatever.
even my conservative friends, I did not see any of them outwardly defending the cop. I have seen some of them calling out the bullshit in the reporting.
Exactly.
Which will make you, as a liberal, will make you go, are you defending the cop? No, they're fucking pointing out how the reporting is fucked up, okay?
Yeah. No, because not a single person I saw go, what the cop's doing is right. Not a single person.
I've seen some try to say like stuff.
George Floyd was an addict. He was on drugs, like that kind of shit.
And they were trying to shine the light on that, where it's like I had to reel them back in and be like, bro.
Yeah.
Just because the guy was on drugs.
Just because that dude's
doesn't mean he deserved to suffocate.
No, not at all.
And you as a cop, like
no one defends.
Be more aware of who you're fucking dealing with. I watched
those other cops should be held accountable too. Those other cops should have been like, bro, get off of him. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be, like you said, there needs to be some accountability
listen,
amongst them.
Again, I don't know all the details, okay? I have been too busy to like just be really delving on every little detail. Mm-hmm. So if I say anything that is wrong or whatever, this is just my opinion, okay? From the video that I watched of the whole incident, there were people talking about how it sounded like George Floyd. People were saying a pretty harshful thing. This one thing, they were like, well, for sure you can breathe if you can tell the cop I can't breathe. That's where like what people were saying.
Right, but not breathe well.
But here's the thing. I like to play both sides. Mm-hmm. So I watch it with my liberal heart, and then I watch it to try to see it through the conservative or like a cop or whatever, try to defend. When I look at it through like the eyes of a cop that's trying to defend this guy or the defense attorney, when you watch the video, it does sound like the knee is not really doing that much on his neck. Now, I can't tell. I'm not George, right?
Right. When
he's saying I can't breathe, he's saying it in a way where it doesn't sound like he's like, I can't breathe.
Oh, I see.
He's not. He doesn't sound like that. Okay? I think, and they said he had fentanyl. And I think when they did the report that came in after the autopsy, there was I don't know how many autopsies. They did one private one and they did one with the cops, and I think one that came in from the cops saying that they didn't notice he didn't die from the fact that his neck was being collapsed. They were blaming it on the fentanyl, that he was having a reaction to the fentanyl, which caused him to go to cardiac arrest. When I watched that fucking video, it sounded like the knee wasn't pressing on his neck that much. Now, I'm no doctor. I don't know if you maybe hit a certain nerve or a certain whatever. That's all it needs to make somebody stop breathing. I don't know. But when you watch that video, bro, it's very easy 4 minutes in to go, 4 minutes from the point they put his knee on his neck, where you should have been like, I think he's not doing well.
Right.
Because he says, I'm not breathing. I can't breathe. And then it gets more lower. Mm-hmm. And you see his body at first. He's like trying to be like trying to move and whatever. And then it's getting less and less. At that point, bro, there's another cop in the back holding his leg. How do you not feel that?
Yeah.
How do you not feel that his life
what
is
if they
slipping?
thought he was like giving up? Like not like his life, but like he was just like, he's like, okay, you guys win.
It's possible, bro. But when I watched that video, man, and I'm trying in that moment, the multiple times I watched it, trying to defend the cop, right? Trying my best to defend the cop. I just can't. There's like that point where it's like, I'm sorry, dude.
No, we talked about those other ones today that were like split-second decisions, right? And you're just like, yeah, that's a split-second decision. That one's more than 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes long.
What is the video?
The Chauvin one, where he had like his knee on that guy's. Yeah. It's 9 minutes.
9 minutes
that's
from the point.
That's not a split second where you like make a gut reaction, shoot the guy or shoot the girl, or you know what I mean? Like that one, you had 9 minutes to fucking decide whether or not you want to be right or wrong.
I kind of want to look more into it when I have time, because I really want to know exactly what really happened. Because when you watch the video, you can tell, man. I feel bad for George. I don't know if you watched it, but did you see it?
I watched lots of it, yes.
Okay, did you see the part where they arrest him, then they try to get him in the car, and he's resisting by putting his feet on the doors, and they can't push him in, and he's like, please, 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 I'm claustrophobic, and you could see he is terrified. And when I watched that, I can almost tell that he was terrified to go back to jail.
Yeah.
He was terrified because he's been in and out of jail for bullshit, and now he's going back for having a counterfeit 5.
Right.
That counterfeit 5 could have just ended up in his pocket because it was given to him as change.
Somebody gave him change.
And now he may be thrusted back into this fucking system that's going to fuck him over. I could see the fear.
Yeah.
You could see it. It was a guy that was like, oh, come on, please, no. And he probably already knows he has drugs in his system, and he was really fucking scared.
Drugs.
He was really fucking scared, man, because he knew this is going to be a good thing. And he was saying, if I'm not mistaken, that he couldn't breathe before
he's even
they
on the
put
ground.
him on the ground.
Right. So it's like the sheep or the boy that cried wolf, right?
You know, it probably. And then you got these cops that probably see this type of shit every day.
Yeah, they don't deal with happy people. Cops don't.
You know, like I'm trying to defend the cops, you know, like in that mindset where I'm like, you see this every day. You probably had so many other people use this type of tactic to try to not get arrested or whatever, or get you in trouble or whatever. And yeah, you're probably just like, he's acting.
Mm-hmm.
Still not an excuse, bro.
Still not?
No.
No.
Not an excuse.
Dude, this is what I was thinking about the other day. Do you imagine if they found him innocent? What would be going on in this country right now?
I want to look at
that shit would be fucking insane. It'd be scary right now.
I want to look more into the trial to see if, you know, the ruling was justified, because I don't know if you remember, they charged him with 3rd-degree murder at first.
I think they ended up finding him guilty of that, right?
Hold on.
3rd-degree murder? Is
that what they, because this is the thing that worried me, is that they increased it from 3rd degree to 2nd degree.
Oh.
And early on, it was like a emotional thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a lot of people started coming out going, even Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro came out and was just like, what? You're going to give him 2nd-degree murder? He's like, charge him with 3rd-degree murder so we can get closure. He's like, why are you going to increase it to 2nd-degree murder? Now the prosecution has to prove that he intentionally wanted to kill him.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if they lowered it back down to 3rd again.
I think it was 3rd. I'm not sure.
I hope they did.
I don't know.
Because,
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not about hope. All I know is that, like, I was kind of worried. And I was too busy to really pay attention. But I was kind of worried. I was like, the last thing I want is it that they can't convict him of 2nd-degree murder, and that's why they let him off.
Right.
What would be fucking weird is if they did convict him of 2nd-degree murder, and it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And they just did that so that they
I don't think that dude intentionally
riot.
killed that guy. But he did. You know what I mean? In a way, he killed him. Unintentionally.
Yeah.
Do you think it was racially motivated at all?
You know what? I think there is a lot of subliminal racism in this country. I think that a lot of us are operating with this subliminal racism running in the background that's been programmed by our society and our media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though you may not be racist, you may have
Can look at somebody
a
and
prejudice, like,
and know them, like just off how they look,
or
that
just
kind of thing.
judge them.
Right.
Be like, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
He's
dressed like a thug. So
he's dressed like a thug, so he's a thug.
Right.
Probably doesn't read. You know what I mean? That type
Yeah.
of shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I had a lot of good lessons, bro. I want to give 2 good lessons on subliminal racism that happened to me. One, I was a kid living in Dearborn, Michigan, 3 blocks from Detroit. Super segregated at the time. Black people barely ever came over to the Dearborn side. Arabs barely ever came over to the black side. It's a pretty fucking different time then. I ended up getting my first job one of my first jobs at a grocery store, a few blocks from my house and my parents' house. And this black kid named Shan was working there. Dressed like a thug, loves hip hop, this, that, and the other thing. He was the best lesson for me, bro. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember one time I walked up to him and I was like, hey, Shan, do you know where I can get weed? And he would always, in a funny way, be like, what, dog? Because I'm black, you think I got weed? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would put me in my place. He'd be like, man, that's fucked up. And he would enlighten me. He'd be like, that's the thing, man. You just been programmed to think every black person likes drugs. Every person sells drugs. Every black guy knows where to get weed. He's like, man, that's fucked up, bro.
But I have a guy.
But he would tell me, no. He would tell me, he goes, that's fucked up, bro, that you look at me that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I was like, what's the big deal, bro? I was just asking you for weed. He's like, no. He goes, you literally thought because I was black, I can get weed. He goes, how come you don't ask Ahmed? How come you don't ask the fucking whatever? You came straight to me first, didn't you? You know how many black people that you see, and you're just like, this guy might know how to get fucking weed. And he told me, he goes, I don't do weed. I don't drink. He goes, I read books. I'm going to college. You know what I'm saying? He goes, I'm fucking this, that, and the other. Smart kid, dude. We were really young. We were only 16, 17. Really smart kid. Then I remember it snowed big time.
It's kind of the same idea though. Like you see dudes with camo on, you're like, he's racist.
That's exactly.
So it's the same.
Exactly.
The same kind of shit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then this guy gives me a ride to my home one day. I ask him, it was snowing really bad. And I had to walk like 8, 9 blocks, you know, but the snow was bad. So I asked Shan, he had a fucking hoopty. And I was like, Shan, bro, can you give me a ride? He's like, you want me to drive through Dearborn? And I'm like, yeah, what's the big deal? He's like, dude, you know black people don't drive through Dearborn, man. The fucking cops are racist as shit, man. We can get pulled over, man, because I ain't fucking doing that. And then I'm like, Shan, please, bro, you can't let me fucking walk in this shit. So he finally gives in, and he gives me a ride. We don't even go 4 blocks, we get pulled over, bro. As soon as we get pulled over, Shan looks at me, and he's like, you see, motherfucker? The cop comes to the window, and I'll never forget this, bro. Shan rolls down the window. The white cop looks through the window. He looks at Shan, and then he sees an Arab kid next to him, and he goes, where are you guys coming from? Like, it confused him. Why is this Arab guy and this black guy together? It's not something you normally see at this time. Oh, yeah, we work over at Boji's. He's just giving me a ride. I live right here, sir. It's like snowing really bad. And the cop heard me, and then he looks at Shan, and he goes, open up your ashtray. And Shan fucking looked at me again. He fucking does this, and he opens up the ashtray, and he has a hoopty, but it's immaculately clean inside. Open up the ashtray. There's nothing in there. He doesn't do anything. There's no cigarettes, nothing. He shines a light in the ashtray, shines a light in Shan's eyes, not mine, and goes, have a good night, gentlemen. And I was very young. I don't understand what the fuck was going on. And then Shan goes, you see that motherfucker? He made me open up my fucking ashtray. And then I'm like, why did he do that? He goes, 'cause motherfucker, he's racist like you. He thought I was smoking weed. It fucking blew my mind, bro.
Do you think it's
As a
racist?
16-year-old kid, it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I never saw a cop in my neighborhood ever. Like that. The fucking guy came out, like it's like he opened up a portal and just boop, showed up because there was a black guy there. There was a black guy there, and he just boop showed up. So yeah, and then another story is with my mom. My mom is not racist. She's so naive. She's one of those ditzy, like, oh my God, oh yeah, cats, yeah, Michael, how are you? And she has no idea what the fuck the world's about. She sits at home and she watches TV. We go to Mother's Day. I take her out to this restaurant. At the end of the breakfast, we walk out of the restaurant, and this huge black dude, just big fucking black dude, wearing FUBU. This was like the early 2000s. FUBU sweat tracksuit. He's with his mom. He opens the door for his mom, and we're behind him. Lets his mom through, right? Mm-hmm. And then he sees us, and he's like, "Oh, happy Mother's Day, ma'am." He looks at my mom. And my mom's, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And you can tell she was kind of like intimidated and whatever. She keeps walking. And then we get in the car. And this is why I love my mom, man. She's naive, but her heart is good. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know what's going on, but her heart is her emotional intelligence is on point. We get in the car, and you could tell she's so bothered. And I'm like, "What's wrong, Ma?" And she's like, "Michael, that man was really nice." And I was like, "Yeah, he was a really nice guy." And she goes, "I feel really bad, Michael." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Why was I scared of him?" It was such a beautiful thing. She confessed that she was scared of him, but she was mad at herself for being scared at this guy who she could tell was a gentleman.
Right.
And I had to tell her, I was like, "Because he's black, Ma. Because in this country, we're programmed. You watch TV all day. You never come out or whatever. And that TV is instructing you. There's no reason for you to be scared of that guy. But subliminally, you're now scared of that guy." And I really think when you ask about racism, I think there's a subliminal aspect to our racism sometimes.
I can see that.
You know?
Like, it's not like outright, you know what I mean? But like...
Conditioned. It's conditioned.
Yeah, but do you think it's... Oh, I asked this right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Do you think it's
the white guy worried about?
Do you think it's the look more than the skin color? Like if you saw like a black dude with like a suit on carrying a fucking briefcase, do you think dangerous? Or is it because...
Yes, always.
What?
No.
Yeah, he's in white America.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a corporate guy. But or is it, you know what I mean, the baggy pants and the gang look?
I think back then it was more so, but I think now it's less.
You can see white dudes have that same look, and you're just like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Like you just like that guy's dangerous. Or like a like.
But it's more so. But it's more so with black though.
It's definitely more of a black culture, right? Of that.
No. But it's more black in terms of I think that.
More fear? You mean like you look at a black thug and a white thug, and you're more scared of the black thug?
I do. I think a lot of people in America would look at the black person who's dressed that way, who we would consider thug. Okay.
I guess the white dude dressed
and
like a thug.
And then they would look at the white
comical
guy and they would be like, "Oh, wannabe thug."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy over here. Yeah.
Right. Which is not fair because I know a lot of white thugs from Detroit. They're dangerous.
They're hard as fuck.
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
And they get away with shit.
They'll throw hands
because they're white.
Quick. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But this whole racism thing is programmed to us by the TV that we turn on. That's why I tell people don't watch the news if you can read it, because the news can manipulate you.
It's all the quick pictures. You know what I mean? Like
quick
those
pictures, sound effects. It's like, and not only that, it's like the news. They only have like say a half hour to show you what they want to show you, which in the end is just something that's going to divert your attention from what they don't want you to know.
Right.
You know, Obama's bombing Yemen. Well, let's check in with Britney Spears. Oh, she shaved her head.
There's a lot of that shit that happens.
You know?
Every time like something major is happening that they're trying to like cover up.
For sure.
All of a sudden, you know what I mean? A black kid gets shot.
Yeah.
It's just like, did you see that we bombed Syria?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, yeah, but yeah, that's look at what's going on.
Let's go over here.
Look, racism.
He's a black president. We gotta be.
They're like, hey, look what happened over here. It's just like, but like, how many times are they gonna come out with like, yeah, we found UFOs? It's like always right as something else that's major's happening.
The UFOs, bro?
I've always believed in UFOs.
But how do you feel about this new information that's been coming out? You haven't been paying attention to it?
But they're not like the United States Air Force was like, yeah, that's a video of ours.
There's a Navy actually.
Or Navy, yeah, but they're just like, yeah, that's a video of ours.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is that? And they're just like,
well, they
it could be like a speck of dust flying across the screen.
But it isn't.
It isn't. But I mean,
no,
it could be some other thing.
Because I think Captain Fravor. That's why I love Rogan's podcast, because he ended up getting that pilot on there once it was declassified. Because first that video came on the scene from what's his name from Blink 182, who's like a really, really big
Tom DeLonge.
Really big alien conspiracy theorist, and using his celebrity to like push more truth to come out. He was one of the first ones to popularize that video and say, look, this is video of Navy pilot following an alien. But when we see the video, it's just a black dot. It's like, the fuck is that? What is that?
Right.
Right.
All this $billion technology, and
I see a black dot.
We can't get a fucking better view? Come on.
But did you hear Captain Fravor on Rogan?
He was like, no, I didn't see
the way he
Rogan
explained it.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. It put it into perspective, because
I just heard the video of him talking about it.
Well, he was showing the black dot, and he goes, you only see a black dot. He goes, but you got to understand, I think he explained it. He goes, that screen that you're looking at, he goes, from center to here is half a mile, and from center to here is half a mile. And when you see that thing going like this, it's doing impossible maneuvers.
Well, it's like an Iron Man thing.
And then they tracked it going from like 60-some thousand feet to just 1 feet above sea level in less than a second. That it was able to go from that high to this low. And what's even crazier is that Bob Lazar guy, you know, the guy from Area 51 who came out a long time ago and said, hey, they had me reverse engineer alien technology, and I'm done keeping it a secret. The fucking government started fucking with him. NSA kept fucking with him, scaring him, and then he kind of like stopped talking about it. But then finally they did a documentary, and they put it up on there, and then he started discussing the gravitational propulsion system that this alien ship has. And it's basically based off something that Einstein said can be possible. And that is the propulsion system that these aliens have are not what we have, because they're following this thing and there's no heat signature. They can't understand, how is it moving? It's using space-time and gravity to travel. So it's able to bend and twist space-time. So I don't know if you've seen Interstellar.
Isn't that how the...
Did you watch Interstellar?
I didn't. But
So
isn't that how the rocket ship in Futurama flew? It bends space-time around it.
Yes.
Instead of...
Yes.
It actually
This
flying.
is a theory that's been out there for so fucking long. You know, this idea that time is a fabric. It, like, we can't access it like that. We just have to succumb to it. We succumb to time to where it's like beginning, middle, end. But it's more of a fabric that can be bent and twisted and manipulated. And Einstein found out that gravity affects space-time, which is crazy. So he came up with the equation that said, hey, I believe through my equations that gravity manipulates space-time. His idea is that since the Earth is this big gravitational force, if you go just outside the Earth a little bit, you'll notice there's a bend in space-time. What's crazy is he was so spot on that calculation that he created to be able to figure out how gravity bends and curves space-time is the reason why GPS works today. Our GPS systems would not be able to pinpoint us as accurately as possible if it wasn't for Einstein's equation that tells us how gravity curves space-time. If we didn't have that equation to know that gravity actually curves space-time, the satellites would be completely off. Isn't that crazy? So
That is fun.
We now know that time is a fabric. Gravity can manipulate it. What these aliens are able to do is to do that. So like if time was a piece of paper, like they did this idea in Interstellar. They had like a piece of paper, and then he drew a hole here, and you put a hole here on this paper. You're like, say you're in a spaceship, you want to go from this destination to this destination, right? Because we can't bend space-time, we just have to go there, right? But what this machine is able to do is bend space-time, fold it in half so that that destination is now here. So the way Bob Lazar explained it, he goes, instead of going to your destination, you bring the destination to you.
To where all you do is just there.
You're just flipping, bending space-time and bringing the destination to you as opposed to bringing your vessel to the destination. So that's what, that's what a lot of people are now going, what the fuck? This Bob Lazar was talking about this for so long. And now we have this footage of this thing going from here to here in a second. And it doesn't make sense. And it's almost starting to make sense now. The fact that these might be aliens or future humans that have access time and gravity and are able to bend and twist it to maneuver themselves.
Did you see the Israeli guy come out and say, I think it was Israeli. There was an Israeli guy. There's like a defense guy that worked for them, right? Mm-hmm. And he said on Mars, the United States and aliens have a headquarters on there, and they're talking about certain things. Did you ever see any of that?
I think I remember that. It was an Israeli guy. It was an Israeli guy that came out.
Israeli
and said that,
defense officer or something like that.
A prior, like
he was
retired
guy.
Right, has like top secret clearance,
yeah.
And is saying that, I don't know about the whole Mars thing, but
or it was on the moon, or it was on the moon, or something like that.
Something to where we actually have aliens that are in direct
the intergalactic force or something stupid like that.
They're in contact with our leaders and stuff like that, and stuff. I don't know, man. That's funny. Like, now I want to look into that too, because like usually I'd be like, crackpot, but now the way things are going, I'm like, I don't know, dude. It seems like almost every conspiracy is coming true.
All of it,
right? Harvey Weinstein. Everyone was like, he's been like, that came true. Bill Cosby, boom, that came true. Epstein, boom. The whole pedophile island idea conspiracy where these elite people would go and like have sex with like young children and stuff. True. Bohemian Grove. The idea that all these world leaders will come to this place in Pennsylvania called Bohemian Grove and do some really weird rituals where they all wear robes and stuff, and everyone's like, you're a fucking idiot. Then Alex Jones snuck in there and actually broke the story in the mid-90s and actually came out with proof showing all these fucking politicians that were there. All this stuff is fucking coming out. Aliens. No, it's not true. And then boom, aliens. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So now if somebody comes out and goes,
you're dude with the tinfoil hat, he's probably talking some truth there. Yeah.
Now we're getting to that point where if somebody's a tinfoil hat, I'm like, dude, make that guy president. I think that guy.
Yeah, this guy's.
He might be on something.
This guy gets it. This guy fucking gets it.
It's gonna get to a point. If you say aliens, everyone's gonna believe you.
Yeah.
You know how people say white racism? That's everyone's like, oh yeah, everything's white racism.
They've been pushing that the lizard people. You know what I mean?
I think that might be real. David Icke used to have he was like, all the world leaders are shape-shifting lizard people.
Yeah. What if they are? That'd be fucking nuts.
Bro, I'm getting to a point where I think that's...
What are you? You lizard? You feel like you're lizard people? So I mean, like...
I'm afraid I'm only a projection in this intricate virtual reality simulation that we're living in.
Oh, do you think it's like a Matrix kind of thing?
Well, you know about simulation theory, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit. A little bit, yeah. But I mean, like,
I'm not like, yeah. Let me talk about it. Like, I know a little bit, but
there's a Dr. Gates who was on with Neil deGrasse Tyson one time.
Mm-hmm.
No, they had a conference with a bunch of scientists years ago, and he's a string theorist. And he, at this thing, was talking about how they found computer code written in the fabric of space, and their equation keeps spitting out this computer code.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a specific computer code. It's a computer code that was created by a computer scientist in the 40s, which is the basis for all computers today. And they're finding that written in the fabric of the universe. Hold on a second. Hold on.
That's interesting.
Gates. I want to see if I can.
There was a movie written recently. I think it's on Netflix. You should check it out. It's based around the Mandela effect.
Is it a movie?
It is a movie.
I'm kind of writing a movie about that, as a matter of fact.
Because the Mandela effect in the movie, they explain it like all this stuff that we all know is like true is actually like not true. You know what I mean? Like all this pop culture references and stuff like that, right? And in the movie, like he's like sitting there like trying to like dig into like why it's not Berenstain Bears, why it's Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
And like the Monopoly guy doesn't have a monocle now.
Right.
And like he's like, what the fuck is going on? And then like one day he wakes up and like his daughter's gone. And so like he like goes to his wife. He's like, "Where's our daughter?"
This is a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
What's the name of the movie?
I forgot the name of the movie. Oh, I can figure it out here after we get
I
done.
want to
here.
watch. I'm kind of writing a movie about this. I have a movie that.
But
has
his
kinda like the
daughter's
same-
gone, and he's just like, he'll go. He goes up to his wife. He's like, "Where's our daughter at?" She's like, "What daughter?" And it's like they erased that memory.
Or he shifted to a different parallel universe.
Yeah, and that's what he ends up kind of finding out. Is like there was a glitch in the system. Every time that kind of stuff happens, there's a glitch, and somebody rewrites the system.
You got to tell me this movie because I'm writing a movie right now, and I need to study other movies. But
I think it's on Netflix.
I'm gonna play this.
For the last 15 years, trying to answer the kinds of questions that my colleagues here have been raising. And what I've come to understand is that there are these incredible pictures that contain all the information of a set of equations that are related to string theory. And it's even more bizarre than that, because when you then try to understand these pictures, you find out that buried in them are computer codes, just like the type that you find in a browser when you go surf the web.
Are you listening to this?
Your
I am.
attempt to understand the fundamental operations of nature leads you to a set of equations that are indistinguishable from the equations that drive search engines and browsers on our computers.
That is correct. So,
Wait. I have to just be silent for a minute here. So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos.
into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code.
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
It's not just sort of resembles computer code. You're saying it is computer code.
It's not even just is computer code, it's a special kind of computer code that was invented by a scientist named Claude Shannon in the 1940s. That's what we find very, very deeply inside the equations that occur in string theory and in general in systems that we can say are supersymmetric. Some of those codes are showing on the screen behind you right now. They don't look like codes, but these pictures, which we call adinkras, are graphical representations of sets of equations that are based on codes. That in the description of our universe, that is a supersymmetrical universe, which we were going to test in the LHC. If you believe that description, I can show you the presence of these codes. That's my statement.
Do you have any predictions in your ideas, or any ways to test any of your ideas any more than, say, the guy over on the screen?
The work that I'm doing is
So basically, I'll just cut it quick, but basically in that thing he does say where he's like, we might be living in a simulation.
Yeah, but what if it's... Because, like, things in space, like, bounce and move and shit, right? What if they're just picking up a code from the 1940s that's, like, bounced off of something and it's coming back to us?
Well, you got to understand what string theory is. So string theory is using very complex math to build a mathematical model of the universe. And then once you build a mathematical model of the universe, you start throwing more math into that mathematical model, and then it spits out an answer in a form of math that explains the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the times, some of the stuff that spits out is actually already true. So that's why they kind of believe that this mathematical model is something that they can use to explain what's up. Now, this is all very still theoretical, but I just find it interesting just to think about that. So when you ask me how I think of myself, I'm like, dude, I just might be ones and zeros, bro. Like, what if I'm...
Who knows?
Like, I had this
what
idea...
if you're a sim character?
That's exactly it.
Right.
Or what if I'm God? What if we all are God? Like, what if... Like, I had this idea tripping on mushrooms. And then thinking of the time when I was tripping on DMT. Like, when you do DMT, you almost feel like you're able to look into the fourth dimension. And, like, I had this idea. I was like, what if every time, like, we die, we transcend to the next dimension? And then we go from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. And then we keep ascending dimensions in every life until we get to the last dimension where we realize that we were God all along. Like it's pretty deep, but it's almost as if like tripping out on psychedelics.
What's it when you die and you come back as something else? It's kind of like that.
It's almost
why can't I think of that word?
It's almost like as if we are all
stupid.
It's like it's almost as if like we are all God, right? But we're all experiencing this experience in separate versions.
I'd be a shitty God.
I'd have a big dick God. I'd be the big dick God.
Like if I was God, I'd be like a D student God. You know what I mean? Because like my life is
like nothing is complete in
like
the
I'm
world.
sitting in a hotel room right now, like talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like nothing would be complete. Like your world would be like dudes, and then you forget to give us dicks. You know. Or,
mine would be like good enough.
Yeah. Just be like
that's my
or like oh, you got really lazy, and when we look at our dicks, it's just like a really bad sketch.
Yeah. It looks like a thumb that I just put a slit in the top.
It's done with crayon.
Just says Ray age 37 down the
Everybody's dick says that.
bottom. Just a tattoo. Where's your birthmark at? And that's what a birthmark is, Ray.
And then when you come, the jizz comes out, little cartoon squiggles, and
or it's like one of those like pie things, you know?
What is that?
The old like Looney Tunes scents where they're just like, come on.
Oh yeah.
that's your
yeah. That's what pussy pheromones would look like. We'd see like just
that'd be
fingers
you start
coming out.
floating through the air.
Yeah. That would make dating so much easier.
Oh, it would be fucking, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like
if a girl just like go get him.
Yeah, go get him.
She's like points her pussy at you, and you're just like,
I just
okay.
like that women now are able to just be who they want to be.
I'm into it.
I'm into it, man. Like some people, like they don't like women like being able to like have this freedom. There's some guys that are like kind of mad. I'm like, I don't know about you,
I'm
man.
attracted to it.
I like the fact that women are able to be whores.
It's not even. Yeah, what's up? No, it's not even the horse part of it. I like powerful, like strong, like mouthy women. You know what I mean? I fucking like a girl that like if I can give it to her and she gives it right back. Fuck, I love that girl. I'm gonna marry that girl. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna put the phone number up here again. I keep forgetting about this, but
for me,
no, the sleeping with the Yemeni hotline. I have a seg where I want to talk about like dating advice. So guys, text me 313-246-3727 and keep it general, you know, because I'm gonna be going into it. You know,
how many people are watching right now?
We had 5.
Nice.
Now we're down to 4 or 2 actually.
We're getting pretty famous, bud.
Yeah, bro, I'm getting famous. But this thing has been going for a while though. You see how fast this thing, bro? We're at 2 hours.
Are we really?
Can you believe that shit?
That's pretty crazy.
We should probably wrap it up though, because
we've talked about a lot. Let's keep going. That's the world's longest podcast. I'm gonna text Sarah or Heather here in just a little bit and just be like, "Hey, we're not gonna make the show. We're still doing a podcast."
I do want to get ready for the show though. I do want to watch last night's
You gonna
set.
comb your hair? Get the fuck out of here. What are you gonna get ready for? You put a hat on.
I gotta fucking comb this thing.
They gotta comb this. Yeah.
No, I gotta I want to watch last night's set. I want to play it
Let's
right now.
listen to it right now.
No, man.
Just kidding.
I want to watch it right now because you gave me some good notes. You gave me some good
Yeah.
notes yesterday about the thing that I added to the bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to watch that and see if I can incorporate the whole eagle thing that we came up with. It's so awesome when you're hanging out with comics, man. That's why I love like Ray, man. It's like last night we literally hung out and at the bar talking about how
we were just talking about jokes and bits
and how you could do it better, and like you pointed out something that I should pay attention to and probably add to my set because I did it on accident last night. And that's just, to me, that's just the best, man.
Dude, that's the best part about working or just like talking with comics who get it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like talking to local comics, they're soft. You know what I mean? Like, or like open mic comics, they're like we were talking about yesterday, where they're not confident enough in what they do, so they get upset when you try to give them advice, right? Like, you can come up to me and tell me, you know what I mean? Like, hey, that didn't work, try this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking try it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like writing is, like, if you write just yourself, your jokes are going to be like all one-sided and like one-dimensional, you know what I mean? Like, there have been so many ideas like I got from buddies or from like people like watching me, like an outside view of like what that
Bro,
joke can do, and
especially
it gives you another branch on like what
for sure
what that joke can do, and all that. That's important,
bro. My white people, that joke that my closer, white people
Mm-hmm.
do everything wrong, like that. Everything they do makes them racist.
Mm-hmm.
That joke, man, really got to where it is now because of other comics that like walked up to me and was like you know when I do the fuzzy dice
Mm-hmm.
hanging in the mirror, and the misdirection on that one is like not what you expect. That came from Johnny Mitchell, who's a fucking another hilarious comic. A couple of years ago, I was doing it at an open mic, and he just walked up to me, and he was like, I don't know, fuzzy dice, you know. And then I was like, yeah, but fuzzy dice is Mexican. And then he was like, oh yeah, that's right. And then he's like, that might still be funny. And then I thought about it. I was like, huh.
Right.
Then I realized, oh shit, if I use that in a specific part of the joke, it'll be super funny because you're not expecting it.
Right.
And that would have never came into my purview if he didn't just say fuzzy dice.
Right.
Just because he said, hey, you thought about fuzzy dice? And I was the one like, yeah, but that's not white people, that's Mexican.
Right.
And it's like,
But that's the beauty of comedy and the beauty of writing, right?
it is, bro.
I'd sit here and talk comedy with like dudes like you all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me and you, the same hustle, same grind. You know what I mean? Like we get it.
And
you know
also,
what I mean?
we don't have egos.
Right.
We do, but we will. Everyone has an ego, but we are able to set it aside.
Yeah.
You know?
What if there's like that respect aspect? You know what I
What?
mean? Like you view somebody like lower than you, and they come up and give you that advice. You're just like, get the fuck away from me.
No, man.
Do you do that? I don't
No,
either.
I'm
See, I don't
open.
either.
I'm open.
I had
to-
a brand new
I'm-
comic on Thursday at an open mic come up to me and like give me like, hey, did you try this? I'm like, it's a good idea, bro.
I learned firsthand when I was a corporal in the Marine Corps, man. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to be that leader that was going to look down at, you know, whatever comic Marines that we had I don't know if Bolty's still watching, but we had a guy in our platoon named Nate Sather. His name is Sather. Still friends with him now. But back when we were in the Corps, man, that guy, when you looked at him, you could have swore he had Down syndrome. Just the way his face was structured, just really dumb, just
Constantly licking his lips.
yes. Always dipping his mouth, saying dumb shit, and like, you know, I'm sure he's grown up to be a different person. But back then, man, I remember I was like, this guy's a lost cause. And one time I was working on this part of the tank because I was a mechanic, and it's a part that we worked on that was so fucking hard because it was this big shaft. And you would have to have two Marines on
Keep
it.
doing that on the camera.
Yeah, it was a big shaft that you had to hold up. So sometimes you'd have to have another Marine hold it up, and then you'd have to try to get the bolt in there, and then try to get it actually on. And it was so stupid that it would take that many people. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a piece of metal that we could put in here that would just hold it up perfectly? And I remember I went and I told Nate to do it, and everyone laughed at me. They all like fucking like, Nate, you're gonna get Nate to fucking find that shit? What the fuck? You're gonna get Sather to do that? And I had faith in him. I was like, Nate, it's like, Sather, don't worry about them. I know you're gonna fucking pull through. You'll figure something out. Go talk to the metal shop or something. Figure something out. He's okay. He comes back, bro. 30 minutes later, this dumb motherfucker was in the dumpster. He went in the dumpster. And he found a piece of scrap metal that the metal shop threw away. And it was shaped in a way that was fucking perfect, bro. You put it up there, and it was like you reduced another Marine. Like, you didn't have to. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking genius. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I fucking looked in there, and he's like, that kind of looks like it would fit. And sure enough, it fit perfectly. And then after he did that, I was like, I want you to go to every company. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Go to every single one of their mechanics and tell them to get the machine shop to make one of these for every one of their tool shops. And now every single one of them had it. And now no one would have had that fucking tool if it wasn't for Down syndrome kid going in the fucking dumpster. I don't know how we got into this, but we're talking about dumb people or something. Or
Well, we're talking about
but people
looking down on comics.
I never do that, man.
Yeah.
So now if a comic comes to me, I don't care who they are. Hey, I got a tag or whatever. I'm all ears, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I'm
all
the same
ears.
way.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's dumb, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to use it,
No.
but at least fucking listen.
Listen. I don't understand the whole idea of that.
Like, I'm a bigger comic than you. Where are you working this weekend? Like, fuck off.
Did you know there was a guy, I was on Clubhouse, and another comic was on there talking about how he was in Austin. No, he wasn't. This was years ago. And Ron White was doing a show, and he was doing a joke. And the young comic looked at Ron White. It's like, man, I really want to meet Ron White, and I got a great tag for him. It'll be so good for that joke. He said he walked up to Ron White, and he's like, Ron, I really love you. He goes, I'm a comic. You know, and he goes, I hope you don't take offense to this, but I have a tag for you for that joke. And he said that Ron looked at him in a way, was like, you what? It's like, I got a tag for you. And Ron goes, let me hear it. And he gives Ron the tag, and Ron pulls out a wad of cash and gave him $100. He goes, I just bought that. And he uses it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And he was like right away. He goes, I thought I might offend him, whatever. He goes, I got $100 out of it. He bought the joke.
Yeah. And that's how comedy should be.
That's how
right?
it should be, man.
Do you want to be a comedy community? That's like, you know what I mean? It takes
That's
a village
what I
kind of
look
mentality.
forward to, bro.
Yeah.
Because I rub shoulders with new comics all the time, especially if I see them on stage. You can tell they're funny.
Yeah.
You know, like I know like a lot of new comics now, you know, that are like, they're new. They're still figuring out their footing.
Yeah.
But they're just funny people, man. You know, you
or
can
they're
just
just
tell.
good people to be around. And
Good people to be around, but you can also tell they're funny.
It's nice to be around that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed comic. You know what I mean? Because you meet so many of these guys where they're like, fuck, I hate comedy. It's like, why are you still here, bro? Nobody's making you be here.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're just doing it because they found a way to make money doing it, and that's all. That's the only reason they're doing it. Or if it's because, you know what I mean, their friends are doing it, or, you know what I mean, or whatever. But it's nice to be around those new comics that are just like, they're happy and upbeat about comedy still. And
Dude, and I think that's also a real good thing. I like being around, because I'm still considered a new comic, you know?
we're both still very, very new.
But I've been in comedy for 20-some years, bro.
Yeah.
Stand-up is new to me.
All right.
I've been in comedy, writing, directing, acting, performing on stages, you know? So, like, when it comes to comedy, I've been in it. So it's easy for a guy like me to be like, the fuck you know about comedy? And I'm not like that, dude.
Yeah.
To me, there's times where people who are less experienced than you that will actually have a better idea because they're not overthinking it. Sometimes when you're an expert, you overthink shit.
Yeah. Like,
You
it's
know?
too mathematical in your head.
Too mathematical
Where
in
you're
your
like,
head.
hit punch, or, you know what I mean, or whatever.
I remember one time we were sitting around an engine and we couldn't figure out what was up with this engine. We had it on a stand and it was making a fucking noise, I remember. And myself and a bunch of other mechanics that had been in a while, plus the staff sergeant who's been in the fucking Marine Corps for 10 years, just sitting there, whatever, and like we're trying to think and they're trying to think it through and they're over fucking thinking it. And in my mind, I was like, it sounds like it might be the rods. I remember that. But I remember being around all these other guys that had been there for a while, and they're not saying that. And I'm in my mind going,
That'd be stupid.
that'd be stupid to say that because they probably would already thought of that, right? And then this private goes, maybe it's the rods. The little private. Just not overthinking about it. Sounds like it might be the rods. Open up the head, boom, it was the rods. And we were sitting around that thing for 10 minutes trying to fucking plot the universe. And what we need to do is figure out what's wrong with this engine. Just over fucking thinking shit.
Yeah.
So, nah, man. Sometimes some of those young comics are so not imbued with the politics and all the other things that come with it that they're more free.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like, they're fun to be around. Like I said, Thursday I went out to an open mic to kind of like work on some stuff to get ready for this weekend. And I sat in a group with like 4 brand new comics. They've been doing it for like a month. Just sat there and shot the shit with them. You know what I mean? It was cool. Like it was fun to be around, you know?
Not only that, I think it's also very good to be around younger comics that are hungry for information, because I find that while you teach people, you end up learning something new in the process of teaching people something. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
Because sometimes you already know how said thing works, right? But at the same time, it's like when you have to explain it to someone, how said thing works or how you do what you do, in the process of you explaining it, you'll come up with something new.
Yeah,
You'll come up with another thing of like
word vomiting bullshit, and you're just like, holy shit, that actually is good.
that's a good idea. I just gave them something now that I need to start doing. Because in
Right.
the process of me talking about it, I just came up with another thing, you know? I want to see if there's any questions at all for the sleeping with the yum.
Sleeping with the yum.
No, that was from
Do the this is gonna be one of those other racist ones. Do the Yemeni girls, do they have to wear the burqas and stuff too? They have to be fully clothed or whatever?
I think so.
Oh,
But it's not like, it all depends.
yeah.
My mom doesn't.
Here she doesn't, right?
It's all culturally, really. I think in Yemen, maybe more so.
Yeah.
But like Yemenis that don't live in Yemen. So like my family, they're Yemeni, but they've been living in Indonesia for over a century.
Mm-hmm.
And in Indonesia, the women wear the scarf intermittently.
Oh.
So like
That's fun.
I have cousins that some days they're wearing it
Mm-hmm.
and some days they're not wearing it. So in Indonesia, it's a little more lax in that the culture is different. So it's more of a culture thing. Yemenis,
That's with like a lot of places though, right? Like you go to Muslims in the Middle East are probably like more hardcore than they are Muslims like here,
well,
right? They
even all throughout the Middle East. You go to Saudi Arabia, they're all covered up.
yeah, it's like
You go to Lebanon and the women are like showing off their titties. Sometimes like the Lebanese women are like, especially I grow up in Dearborn, you'll see Lebanese women that will wear the headdress, right?
Mhm.
They wear the scarf, but they wear push-up bras and cleavage is showing out. They even got they're wearing yoga pants and they got a big ass and it's like sticking out and they're just fucking flaunting it. There's just varying degrees, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have my
That's-
mom who was a hairdresser. She was never going to put that on. Ever. That wasn't her. Like that picture that I posted when I was at the wedding with my aunts, they were all wearing the headscarves and they all were dressing in blue. And I said they all look like they dressed up like Skeletor. They all look like Skeletor. Like I show you the picture. They're all of them. And then the only woman in that picture that didn't have a scarf was my mom. My mom ain't playing that game, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah, and they don't look down on her, you know. And then it's like it's different through culture, and it's also different from family to family. Some families they are like all about the women; you have to wear it.
Yeah.
Other families they're like whatever. We knew this one family in Dearborn, Michigan. They were Lebanese. The father was just they're Muslim. The father was just some regular dude, whatever. His wife was a ripped aerobic instructor. She'd always fucking wear her ass be showing out. She's dressed really sexy and stuff. And their daughter wears the scarf. The daughter did it on her own. The daughter woke up one day and was like, I had a dream and I feel like I really need to be a better Muslim. And she was the only
It's like
one.
that show Rami.
She was like, yeah. That's,
Like Rami, like his family's kind of like fallen away from Muslims or Islam. And then he's like, I want to kind of find this.
He wants to find it. Exactly. Yeah. So like this girl was the same way. She wore, and it was kind of funny. That family was kind of funny because the mother would be bitching and complaining. And it's just like, she's more Muslim than me. She's making me feel guilty for walking around my abs out and shit, you know?
So do both your parents still practice Islam like hard?
Yeah, my mom.
They go to the churches or whatever they're called?
My mom doesn't go to the mosque.
No.
You don't have to go to the mosque.
No?
No. To be a Muslim, to be a good Muslim, you don't have to. You just at least pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
You know? That's really, there's like 5 pillars of Islam. And I think the first pillar is to witness that there's only one God. There's no other gods, just one. And Muhammad is the last prophet. And then is it fasting, Ramadan, charity, they call zakat, where every year you have to donate 20% of your income to charity. And then did I do the prayer? There's also prayer 5 times a day. And then pilgrimage, that at least one time in your life, if you can afford it, you should go to Mecca.
Oh,
as a
okay.
Muslim. Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah. But you don't have to. The thing is like if you can do it, you should do it.
Right.
But it's like God knows if you can't make it, then
Right.
You know.
We get it.
we get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all religions are about just don't be an asshole.
That's what they all should be.
That's what they're all supposed to be about. They're all about don't be an asshole, be nice to people, help out the poor. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's like, see, like I'm not religious at all.
I'm
Like
not either, bro.
Like I don't really, I don't know. I don't really believe in it. I think once you're dead, that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But I see so much positive coming from religion.
Sure.
Like how many charities would go away if you take religion off the table?
A lot.
Like damn near most of them,
Dude,
right?
a lot of people. Let me tell you,
Like
man.
Christianity does a lot for this country.
So does Islam.
And so, yeah, I mean, but like
I mean,
the
like,
majority is Christian. That's why.
well,
that's what-
majority, yes,
Right.
definitely. There's so many Jews. Same thing, man. Yeah, bro. Listen,
How many homeless kitchens and like
for sure.
Habitat for Humanity, like all
Absolutely.
this shit
But
is
then-
all
But
religion
then
based.
the question is it religion, or is it good people
Good
using
people, which we're
religion?
bringing it right back around.
Is it good people that are using the religion for good things?
Right.
Just like there's bad people using the religion for bad things, right?
Yeah.
You got fucking all kinds of
Alt-right.
people. You got ISIS. There's some varied degrees. Televangelists. Those
Yeah.
fucking criminals. You
Those
know what
guys
I
are.
mean?
Yeah.
Those guys are criminals.
They got fucking $40 million homes.
Not all of them, but I'm just saying that some of them are just fucking straight up just using that to siphon money from people.
That's it. Yeah.
But no, man, religion does a lot of good, dude. A lot of good. A lot. So, but I'm gonna say not religion. See, that's the wrong way to say it. Not religion does a lot of good. A lot of good people use religion to do a lot of good.
To do good.
You
Right.
know?
But I've seen religion do good for people. You know what I mean? Like I know people that have like, I found God, and like I've stopped doing drugs, I've stopped doing this and this and this, and like they just like turn their life around based off of a book.
And that's the thing, man. Whatever works for you.
That's it.
Me,
Yeah,
I'm the type of
I'm all
person
about
that's
it.
like, I'm the person that's like, you can do it without religion.
you can.
But some people, man, their religion is a structure, a
Yeah.
guidebook, a,
It's the saying,
a
don't be a
community,
piece of shit.
a
Yeah,
community.
A community takes a village kind of shit, right?
Gives them a place to go, a people to talk to. Kind of like how we have stand-up. Stand-up's kind of like our church.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of just another
It's my
community.
community.
You know?
It's where I get around like-minded people who are trying to like do certain things with their
Exactly.
lives.
The only problem I think about religion is that it does have the ability for, it gives a framework for people who are opportunistic to use people who are in that framework to control them. That's the only thing I don't like about religion, is that it wires people the same way. So, for example, if I'm a politician or a ruler and I want to rule people, right? Would it be easier, metaphorically, if I could rule people with 1,000,000 switches or just 2 switches?
Right.
Right? When people are wired the same way, right? You as a leader or people that's seeking power is able to control those people with the fewest amount of motions. If everybody in Islam believes that X, Y, Z, you know that if you do X, Y, Z, you're going to get a specific reaction from the majority of those people, right? It's almost like flipping one switch to turn on all the lights in your Christmas tree,
Right.
right? If you had to turn on every switch for every fucking light, that's a fucking headache. It's way, way fucking easier if people are wired the same. And that's the thing that I don't like about people, of religion, is that I find it used as a way to control people in the easiest way.
See, I don't like it. It creates the division. You know what I mean? Like Christians and then Muslims and then you got Judaism, you got like all this other stuff.
yeah.
There's like it's just, we're just breaking ourselves apart more instead of like, it's not unifying at all. And then you have, like you said, where you're like, well, my book says that this is bad, so you shouldn't be doing that. And it's like, what? Like I don't, like, let me be gay. You know what I mean? Let me do, you know what I mean? Whatever I want.
There's another thing. So, like, there's another thing I don't like about religion is that they're so stuck to these old ass scriptures that are just outdated and like
And they're more
written
supposed
at
to
a
be,
time where people were kind of savages.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we've civilized a lot.
I think religion, for me personally, I think religion got us, humanity, to where we need to be. And I think it's time to move on from that. But
I agree
people,
100%
but
with that.
people like their religion.
Yeah, and let them.
Makes them comfortable, makes them happy.
As long as they're not pushing theirs onto ours, or you know what I mean, like or whatever, then let them do.
I
Whatever
like
they wanna do.
religious people that can go through the scripture and be like, "Oh, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Right?
Like the shellfish and the pork and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Or like in Islam, there's you should have saw the first podcast I had with the comedian Kazim Rahman, who's a Nigerian Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
We went at it on Islam. I brought up the verse in the Quran where it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to beat your wife if she's not listening to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, when I read the Quran, I was like, wait a minute. I was raised in my household that we don't hit women.
Right.
And now you're telling me that I need to be a good Muslim. I need to read the Quran. And here I'm on chapter 4, and it's like, hit a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff, though. But I think a lot of it, like, you need to find your own context to it, right? You know, and you need to look at, like it's a message in there, not so much, like, exact. On lots of it, you know what I mean, like the whole slave owning shit and how to treat your slaves, like all that stuff needs to get just. Let's write a new book.
Well, they did. That's why they have the New Testament.
But like a newer testament.
A newer.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Islam. The Quran has never been changed. It's the same.
No shit.
Never been changed. That was the thing that the Prophet Muhammad, when he started the religion, the thing that he didn't like about Christianity was they were supposed to be worshiping God, but instead they were worshiping an idol. They were worshiping
Jesus.
a statue.
Oh.
And then they were also calling him the Son of God. And so Muhammad was like, damn it, guys. You had it right the first time. That's basically what he's saying. He's basically saying the Old Testament was, you guys had it. Then now you're trying to turn him into the Son of God, and now you're worshiping this statue. And he was like, no, we should be worshiping God, the energy, the thing that we don't know. It shouldn't have a gender. It shouldn't be a he or a she. It's whatever it is. Stop worshiping that. So, you know.
It's fun.
I forgot the point I was going to make, man.
No, it's good.
But it's fucking 6 o'clock, bro. We got 2 hours till showtime.
Oh yeah.
So, all
this
right,
was
guys.
fun. We had some good conversations here.
Yeah, my
you called
boy.
me a racist right out of the gate.
Right out the gate.
Right out of the gate.
Right out the
And
gate.
I proved to you that I probably am. Just kidding.
I think you are somewhat, bro.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what a racist would say.
I have black friends.
Isn't it fun? You know what's fucking funny, man? It's like with the whole race thing, if you're told that you're racist and then you go, no, I'm not. Now you're a racist.
Yeah.
Isn't
that weird?
Isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah, you see like on Facebook, people are just like, I'm not racist. There's like, that's what a racist would. Like, it's just like, what? I can't defend myself in not being racist? Come on.
Brother, I really think and I hope that we get to a point where the crazies right now are kind of controlling the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope
I
think the pendulum is going to shift, and I think sooner or
more
later,
and more people are starting to wake up.
I think sooner or later we're going to come back to rock and roll.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like fucking rock and roll. I'm talking about like saying what you want. It's gonna come the other way.
We're gonna
bro.
be so American. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be so
it's like
racist.
an overcorrection.
We're gonna be overcorrection. Yeah, it's gonna be the anti. Black people are just gonna let us use the N-word now. It's just gonna be like, go up. We're gonna go all the way.
Yeah. You're gonna go.
It's never gonna happen.
No, but you're gonna go up to like some gay dude and just be like not even talking to him. Just be like, hey, bro, you're a fag, and he's just like, what'd you say? I'm like, anti-American. You just like.
Yeah. It's gonna be exactly. It's gonna be the opposite. If it's like if you get
because
mad,
we're so far left, and it's gonna go so far like right,
so far the other way.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you get mad at somebody saying someone racist to you, you're not about free speech.
Yeah. Do you hate America?
Do you hate America?
Yeah.
Oh, you must.
You must.
You don't care about fat people.
Because I'm over here talking with this guy, and you got involved with
And that's the thing, bro. You ever notice that? Like it is. Before we let go, I want to bring this one thing up. It's just one little thing, man. But I hate fucking seeing my friends during the pandemic parroting the same talking points that other dumb people are doing. They get caught up in, it's almost like, it's sick. I see other people doing it, but now I'm starting to see my friends do it, to where they're the type of people where they wake up in the morning, they're like, okay, let me get online and see what things I can say to make myself look like a good person.
Yeah.
Right? And
how am I a victim today?
Yeah. Okay. And one of the things that everyone was saying at this one time, and it was so sick, so somebody made a post and it got really popular on Facebook to where it was like highlighted on my feed from some guy that I don't know, but he got like 20,000 likes and 50,000 comments, right? And it was one of those posts when they're highlighted, it highlights the comments of friends that you follow more, so you can really see what they're saying. And he was saying something about we should open things up. We've been in lockdown for too long. It's time to look at the data and just whatever. And virtue signaling liberals said the same thing. I saw 5 people on that thread say the exact same line, and it was so disappointing that 2 of the highlighted ones were 2 of my friends that said the exact same thing. And you know what it was? I guess you don't care about old people.
Old people are the ones not wearing fucking masks.
Hold on a second. That was the thing.
Yeah.
That was the virtue signaling line.
Yeah.
To anybody who said we should open things up. I guess you don't care about old people. And it's just fucking gross, dude. It's gross to see your own fucking friends just looking for one line to say that everyone can say to make you look like a good person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you don't care about old people. And you know what I say to that? I don't fucking care about old people. Who fucking told them to get old? Who told them to get old? You could have died when you were young. This is your fault.
But you go to the store, who's not wearing the masks? Fucking old people.
Maybe in Indiana, bro.
Oh.
Everywhere else I see, white people, old people be wearing masks.
I got that fucking, I see those dudes with like the Korea hats on. You know what I mean? The Vietnam hats on. They're like, I'm not wearing a fucking mask. I ain't a
Vietnam
pussy.
hats.
You know, like the old like retired guys.
Oh.
They're wearing like the Vietnam hats.
That's because you're in
Korea.
a red state, bro.
Yeah, probably.
That's because that's the opposite of the ridiculousness on the left.
Yeah.
This ridiculousness on the right is like, I'm too strong. I don't need to wear a mask. What the fuck is this shit? And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to fucking, that's the hill you're going to die on? And that's what I think you're seeing most in Indiana is because you go to L.A., bro. Ugh.
Probably too far.
Bro, the birds are wearing masks. Everybody's fucking wearing a mask, bro, outside. And these are the type of people that are like, hey, we got to believe in the science. And you're like, you're outside. The sun's beating down on you. The science says it can't survive in sunlight. And you out here wearing a fucking mask.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I'm the only person walking around without a mask in L.A. outside.
Yeah.
It's
Do you ever
so
have
funny.
people come up to you and like video camera you?
No, because they're scared of me. Look at me. Look at me.
Resting ISIS face, right?
My ex-girlfriend and I, during the pandemic, during lockdown, we went to go for walks because we're inside. So we'd go for walks, you know, outside. It's nice in L.A. And this is perfect. I heard this crabby ass lady going, "Well, goddamn mask, god damn it!" And she's like walking towards us. She sees another couple. Hey, you know you need to be wearing a mask. She's a fucking Karen. Wear a goddamn mask. God, we're never gonna make it out of this. And she's coming towards us and getting louder and louder. I see she was behind us, right? And then I can hear it getting closer and closer and closer. And then she was on the other side of the street. And then she like yelled at another person or whatever. And then as she passed my brake line, I made sure to make eye contact with her. And when she looked at me, she just looked at me. She didn't say anything. Because everyone else that she was yelling at was a white person or old.
Yeah.
But her calling out a guy who might be black, she can't do that.
She can't. You can't yell at people of color anymore.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
What the fuck has happened to this world, bro?
Yeah.
How is it that like it's just everything's flipped? It's supposed to be the other way.
I remember watching because like you went to Puerto Rico on your little vacation and just watch. It's like you get like 150 fucking comments of people just going, "Why the fuck you doing this during a pandemic?" Blah 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 blah. And you're just like, "I'm on vacation. There's nobody fucking near me."
All I did was post a picture of me and my ex-girlfriend on the beach.
Yeah.
And flame war.
And
fucking
people lost
flame
their
war.
fucking minds.
A lot of them did lose their fucking minds. And it
That's
wasn't a
one
lot of
thing
them.
I do
It was
like-
only a handful of the fucking most vocal.
Yeah.
You know? Like one of them is this comic in LA. And I'm just like, cannot fucking believe I have lost all respect for her. You know the type of disgusting person she is, bro? Have you seen these people that have this like pride in staying inside?
Oh yeah.
And posting memes and pictures, or like their face with "staying inside saves lives."
Yeah.
You know,
They get
And-
that fucking picture, that circle around their Facebook picture. It's
Oh,
just like,
she was one of the biggest ones that came out shaming me for whatever.
Yeah.
And she's Palestinian, and I came back at her. I'm like, "You're shaming me for being on a beach in Puerto Rico. Why don't you try to save your people? Why don't you spend your time saving your people getting obliterated by your own tax dollars, you
yeah.
dumbass?
Put this energy somewhere else.
Put it somewhere else."
in somewhere better.
You want to know why? Because she's a non-producer, and a lot of non-producing people enjoy it during the pandemic, because now the people like us that are producing are now have to be forced to not produce, and it makes them feel normalized.
Right.
And now she wants to find virtue in doing nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, wow. How gross is that? You want to find virtue in doing nothing. She's the same type of person. Like, oh, I guess you don't care about old people. Nobody told my mom to get old.
No.
If she caught COVID and died, she had it coming, bro. Okay? Not only that, my mom don't take care of herself. She never did. She never took care of herself. Like, never once. We tried to get my mom to take care of. Never. Suffered a stroke, didn't take care of herself. Heart problems, didn't take care of herself. All kinds of shit coming her way. Never took care of herself. Is it fair to you, if my mom died of COVID, for me to get mad at you for fucking being outside?
No.
No. She had it coming. I love my mom to death. I do everything I can to make her healthy. We upped her vitamins. She's a lot more healthier now. We've got like somebody coming to the house and making sure she's really taking her vitamins and taking care of herself. It's great. But she is in a position right now because she didn't take care of herself. What kind of fucking moron would shame other people because their parents died and their parents probably didn't take any proactive steps to do anything about their fucking health?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying, man. It's just like people that are non-producers, people that don't fucking amount to shit. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't amount to shit doesn't mean you're a bad person. But you're a bad person if you don't amount to shit and then you try to fucking find virtue in the fact that you don't do shit.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that blow your mind? Like, you just see that shit and you're just like, what? You provide nothing to any of us, and you're the most vocal about life.
And you're so most vocal about how awesome it is doing nothing.
Yeah. You're living your life.
I just want to projectile vomit right now, bro.
You're living your life in the laziest way possible, telling me how I should be living my life? Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. And these are people that, you know what else?
You wouldn't know they existed if it wasn't for that keyboard.
You know, Joe Rogan had that Dr. Mark Gordon on there, that scientist who broke down how zinc, vitamin D, and how to get zinc to be more absorbed. And I created that list that I sent to you, which I took notes, and I gave Amazon links for all of the vitamins that you can buy to keep yourself from getting COVID. My virtual signaling piece of shit cuck friends of mine.
Cuck's a fun word. I like it.
The ones that come on my page to tell me not to enjoy my fucking life. After I posted that, I saw them on a separate post talking me down, going, "This idiot thinks taking vitamins." They're literally like, "Oh my God, vitamins, doing healthy things, you know, like walking and not being fat and stop smoking." They don't want to do that shit.
Right.
They're all fucking smoking. It's fucking COVID. I think now's the time for you to quit smoking, bitches.
Right.
Instead, you're not doing anything for yourself. You're still going to smoke. You're still fucking fat. And now you're just trying to find a way to be okay with not doing more about your fucking health. And the best way to do that is to shun people like me who's running up a canyon every fucking day, every other day, dieting, taking vitamins, taking precautions when he goes out to do shows and stuff. And, oh, yeah, sorry, Mike. No, you're a piece of shit, and you don't care about old people. And like I said, for the record, I don't. In 5 years, I'm going to be an old person. That's when I'll care. Like, when I'm ready to be in the AARP, that's when I'll start caring about old people. But until then, old people, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah. I mean, you lived this pretty sweet life in America.
Exactly. You had it coming.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
your privilege got you this far.
Yeah, you've been eating McDonald's every day
Yeah.
like Ray Hensley.
Once.
You had it coming, bro. Yo, that Burger King that we had last night.
I barely finished it.
I ate the whole fucking thing.
I'm sitting there just.
Oh, really like
out.
that? It fuck with my sleep, bro. I woke up this morning. I was on the toilet for 20 minutes, homie.
You were?
Oh,
You don't think it was the 17 White Claws you drank last night?
no.
Because I had the beer shits.
They
this
trying to
morning.
shame me for drinking White Claws. Bro, we got to go, man. It's like
6.
2.5 hours in. Every time I do this podcast, I can't get it under an hour.
No, I don't think you should. Just go. Just when it feels natural to end, that's when you should end it.
Yeah, well, we got to go but this was a good discussion, bro.
It was
We
fun.
had a really good discussion. I know,
Yeah.
like, some of the people that were watching said it was pretty good, man. I mean, like, we really got into it, and, you know.
It's fun.
Right now, I hate to say it, but right now, liberals need to be acting right. I'm sorry.
They do.
Conservatives have a lot of problems too, but right now,
The
dude,
thing with
I'm
the-
a liberal that's just going, what the fuck are you guys doing?
The thing with the racist right is you know that they're racist. You know? The racist left are more,
Covert.
yeah.
It's shrouded. It's shrouded in helping
Who was it?
people.
Malcolm X that said that? He's
What?
like the liberal is racist in a way that's cunning, like a fox.
Really?
Yeah.
He said that?
I think that was Malcolm X.
No, I want to look.
It was before he died. You're like, yeah, duh.
Liberal.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what I've gathered. Like you see, yeah, we're just getting right back into it, but I think was it Malcolm X?
I'm seeing pictures of Glenn Beck, so
That's definitely not Glenn Beck.
that's another fucking piece of shit. That's another piece of shit fucking
All of
person.
them. All of them are. Don Lemon's a
White liberal
turd.
is a fox in the fox. Oh, yeah. Here he goes. This is kind of like how I feel. The white liberal is the worst enemy to America and the worst enemy to the black man. And there's a whole thing that he has here. I'll
Yeah.
share it if anybody. Interesting.
It is crazy that
'Cause
he knew that back in the fucking 50s and 60s
Well.
and shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a
You say
completely-
that like just because he's back in the 60s, he's too stupid to know that shit. They knew way. I think people back then were way more engaged with the truth than today. It's so funny.
Well,
like
they
today,
were going through actual.
today we have all this information in front of us, but now we're using it in a way to just divide us instead of actually focusing on the actual truth.
Right.
We're using it to. It's just so weird.
It is weird.
So we look at people back then. We have to look at people back then because they were really thinking
in the
clearly,
shit.
man.
And they were really in the shit.
And they didn't have this fucking phone telling you, hey, jerk off to porn. Let's go. What the fuck, man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This bitch wants to meet you tonight. And then you buy her drinks and she's not going to fuck you. Hey, I can't save a world when fucking, I'm trying to get my dick wet. And then I got a phone that fucking helps me track women in my area. And,
I might be racist, but he's a predator.
hey, ladies, come on now. You know my phone number.
You didn't have any
Sleeping with the
questions?
Yemeni hotline. Oh, shit, I did it wrong. Fuck. Did I? There it is. All right. Dude, we got to end this, man.
Yeah.
Let me.
Thank you so much for having me, dude.
bro,
This really was a great time.
It was
It's
good,
always
bro.
great talking.
It's always great talking to you, bro. And it sucks that tonight you're not going to be able to hang out because you got to go do a gig early tomorrow. I was hoping to get some more White Claws with you.
I'll hang out for a little bit. Dude, I do my best shows on like 2 hours of sleep, so we're going to fucking hang out
We
tonight.
getting hammered tonight, cuz. Hey, we need to find a better bar, man, because there was no talent in that bar last night.
Yeah.
I know you got a girlfriend and shit, but there was not one girl I wanted to have sex with. There was that one girl that was eyeballing me, remember? She looked
Short-haired girl?
She looked like Fonzie.
Yeah.
She looked like Fonzie from Happy Days.
If they had a jukebox, she would turn it on by hitting it.
I
for
wanted
sure.
her to take that leather jacket off to see if she had any curves, because the part of me was kind of like, I was really horny, but part of me was kind of like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude, because you might be a dude, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if we can find another bar that has some people that don't look like they were suffered radiation. You know?
Yeah. That was definitely the saddest bar I've been in a long time. But no, we're
The
gonna.
people were nice,
I said we get out,
but not a
this
lot of
area.
teeth in there. You know?
Yeah, there was more people than teeth.
Yeah.
And you and I have full heads of teeth.
That's funny, dude. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. All right, bro. We got to do this, man. Guys, thank you so much.
There it is, doing it again.
I'm going to definitely try to figure this thing out even better. I'm going to really, really work on this sooner or later, guys. I just got so much going on. I want to try to give this show some structure. Follow Ray Hensley at Ray Hensley Comedy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel over here. Don't forget to also follow me at Mike from Detroit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pornhub, your mom's house. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. We're going to do this. Oh, also, I will be posting these on regular podcast platforms, just the audio version. I wanted to bank a few before I did that, and then I'll be doing that so then people can be listening it on audio. But yeah, guys, thank you for following me. Balti, Jason Bacon, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Public Yemeni #1.